3, 2, 1.
Here we go. Chip, chip.
Good afternoon, Cowboys Nation. Welcome to Training Camp Central Live. We are streaming live on YouTube. And of course, I am your host, Will Skywalker. Still. Boom. It's a big one, ladies and gentlemen. Today, the Cowboys travel to Woodland Hills, California for the annual, at this point, Cowboys-Rams joint practice. There is a little bit of a twist to it, so I will explain that. Oh, we also got some big news that dropped on us yesterday, right before the practice, that I think could open up another move. But temper expectations. But it is exciting times for the Cowboys. It is exciting times for Cowboys Nation, and I'm hoping it's exciting times for the Bomb Squad.
Bomb Squad!
Feels good to be back. I told you guys I wasn't going to be able to do the, Training Camp Central coverage on Saturday and Sunday, but we're back here Tuesday. A little bit of a caveat, though, unfortunately. For those who aren't aware of how we do this here, we head on over to the command center where we follow all things Cowboys training camp. And right now, we got a lot of updates coming through. One of the main ones being, unfortunately, there's going to be no team footage. Don't worry. We still will cover some of the individual drill things. I believe they're allowed to do that per my, whatever you want to call it. Folks that are down there, I was told that you're allowed to record the individual drills, which may be more telling at this point, given that the Cowboys-Rams joint practice, which is closed to the public, open to Cowboys and Rams media, is going to be very vanilla. I don't see the Cowboys or Rams showing much of anything, right? Because they play each other this year. They've done this before in the past where they've played each other in preseason, but I think they're going to be even more tight. I think it was somebody who mentioned that the Rams did scrimmage them in the first, was it 2025? So they scrimmaged them last year. And then that first game against the Eagles, they reached out to Shoddy and said, damn, man, you guys are running stuff I didn't see you guys run against us. Well, yeah, we're not going to run everything. We're not going to show you everything. But what we're going to do is show you what we can show you here via the individuals. And if all goes right, our guy Vash Lombardi will tap into us. He's going to tap in with us here and let us know what he's seeing out there with his eyes, because he is a part of the media team who is down there. So y'all keep it locked. We're still going to cover this thing from top to bottom as best we can without the, team clips. No team clips. We still can do other clips. Also, a little bit of an update. No Myles Garrett. Nah, that's a bummer. That's a bummer. Was looking forward to seeing Myles Garrett. The Cowboys need as much practice against that type of player going into the regular season as possible, because we're going to go up against a bit of a gauntlet this year with some of these edge rushers. More information. Jonathan Bullard and Jayshawn Barham are out of today's joint practice against the Rams. So Bullard has been dealing with something, and so have Jayshawn Barham, the hamstring issue. Hopefully nothing too serious. We're going to keep our eyes on that over the coming days. Here is some more info on what's going to happen out here. Patrick Nosey Walker said first team offense and defense will be on separate fields at the same time. So my plan is to lean into the defense primarily, then slide over to the offense. If you guys remember how this went down, making sure y'all up, how this went down last year, they did the same thing. First team offense, first team defense were on separate fields. And it was a bit rough to try to get all of the footage, but that's because the Cowboys were in Oxnard. They're now in Woodland Hills, California, where you're not allowed to get that footage. But we'll keep you updated as this thing rolls in. Let's get to today's top headline. I kind of buried the lead here a little bit, but yesterday we're just chilling and we get the breaking news. The Cowboys and star defensive tackle Quinnen Williams have agreed to a 3-year contract extension. Let's go. Let's go. Shouts out to Nicole Lynn, I believe Clutch Sports, who handled the contract. She's been killing it these last couple seasons with these deals. Here's the details on it. $105 million in new money, $101 million guaranteed, the highest, I believe. 35.3 million APY, which puts him, I believe, number 2 on interior defensive lineman behind Jalen Carter, right above Justin Simmons. So they were able to work this thing out. Couldn't be more happier. Couldn't happen to a better dude than Quinnen Williams. Now, there is this idea that this is a shocker or surprise. It shouldn't have been. You know, there's a saying in poker. Y'all know how I do. I like to play poker. There's a saying in poker. Pot committed. When Dallas made the trade, they were pot committed to Quinnen Williams. And of course you're going to be. It's Quinnen freaking Williams. Like, what are you talking about here, right? So them coming to an extension the very next offseason, it's not a shocker to me, but the tea leaves were definitely there, and it started at the opening presser where someone asked Stephen Jones and them, hey, you guys open for business? Oh, we are open for business, and we actually hope it gets done. Okay. Then Nicole Lynn shows up at practice the other day, and that's a tall tale right there. Then what happens a couple days later? Boom. Breaking news, Quinnen Williams has an extension. So what does that mean for the Cowboys? What does that mean for the Cowboys? They now have roughly $20 million in cap monies to spend if they want to. Quinnen Williams is now under contract for the next 5 seasons. Beautiful thing to say, by the way. And the next 2 really isn't crazy on the cap. But if I'm not mistaken, they freed up roughly $15 million in doing this extension. So if they want to, they can make another move. We'll talk about what some of those moves may be here in a second, but I just want to see what's happening out here at camp. Here we go. TG, Tyler Guyton and Tyler Smith. He was one of the guys I was looking forward to seeing against Myles Garrett. Really was looking forward to seeing Myles Garrett and Tyler Guyton go at it, but it's all good, man. I think Tyler Guyton is having a pretty solid camp. But it's about stacking. We played a game the other day. Overreaction or reality. I flip-flopped on TG. It was overreaction at first. Now I feel like it's reality, but it's still about stacking for Tyler Guyton. That's for sure. Here's Michael Trigg. Trigg is going to be interesting for preseason. Because at this point in time, I don't know that they carry 4 tight ends. And I know he was the undrafted free agent darling. He's going to have to snap, I think, for them to carry 4 tight ends and be weaker elsewhere. He's just going to have to snap, man. The Cowboys Nation. I'm looking over here. Shouts out to Hoodie Kush in the building. Shouts out to Thaddeus. Scott, that means they moving different. That has been like the term of the offseason, is moving, this whole moving different. We did this. We broke this thing down in the offseason. There are things that are different. Blatantly, clearly, obviously different. There are things that are just normal, regular proceeding things, and that's not a bad thing. But I do believe we're so hungry for this organization to move like a normal organization. Anything amuses us, bro. We are going to the grocery store, not just hungry. We're going high. We are going with the munchies. Any little thing that they do that's regular as hell is considered moving different. And I just gotta laugh. And I'm not here to rain on nobody's, sunshine. You keep that thought process going. We're moving different. That's fine. If y'all want to believe that, that's fine. There are things, like I said, that they are, and then there's things that just, this is normal, bro. They've done this before. Extending guys during camp is not new, bro. It's not new at all, man. Just be happy we got the guy under contract for the next 5 years, and he's one of the best in the National Football League. But we've been here before, man. We've been in for, but we hungry. What my man say? That brother's starving. That brother's starving. That's how we is at Cowboys Nation, and I get it, man. I totally get it. Now, I'll tell you what's different. Stephen Jones, during the blue-white scrimmage, shouts out to Nicole Hutchinson. She got a chance to talk to Nicole Hutchinson, or he got a chance to talk to Nicole Hutchinson, and he reiterated what him and Jerry have been saying during camp, and that they're very much so open for business, not just for an extension, but for a potential player to add in this thing. Take a listen.
And you and Jerry have been very adamant about, hey, like there's still times where we will add talent to this roster. How is that continued process going for you guys?
Yeah, it's going fantastic. Obviously we hadn't made major moves, but it doesn't mean there's not a lot of things in the works out there. And certainly we're having some good conversations, not only with teams, but also with, with veteran players that we think could be really help us out. So, this is a work in progress. And I don't think, this 90-man roster will probably look a little different in a couple of weeks if I were a betting man, but we'll see.
Now, you want to talk about moving different. The fact that these Jones boys are so open about being open for business in this regard, that is different. That is different. And I don't want y'all to gloss over the little things there. He said, look, we hadn't made a major move yet, but that does not mean there aren't a lot of things in the works out there. I remember in years past, it was, we like what we got. We're happy with what we have. Before we even saw them practice, Jerry went to that podium and said, oh, I got some first round picks and second round picks to dang go out there for you. Well, Jerry, what positions you thinking?
But seriously, if we get an opportunity to add to this thing, we're very capable.
What area?
The mood is here to do it.
What areas do you feel that you could shore up?
Well, I just would not depth, of course, is a no-brainer. But to add firepower to it would be, if any place would be to improve our playmaking ability on defense and pressure that quarterback or have an opportunity to do something special. Really, you named it, they're linebacker.
Right.
But I don't want to, honestly, again, a top pick is expendable this year for me. Okay. To add to somebody that meaningfully would be pretty obvious help us now, and we would have the right kind of spot on our team for it. So I'm not just looking for a player, we're looking for somebody that can add to the mix.
There's a lot of words I had to write down over the last couple. So you got Steven talking about major. You got Jerry talking about firepower and playmaker and special and meaningful. To me, that's different. They don't often speak this openly about adding these type of guys. They have covered their bases because they'll likely also sign a depth guy, like Jerry said. They'll probably sign one of those veteran players that are on the market that Steven said they're talking to. But I don't think we should gloss over the fact that, yeah, we're talking to teams. We haven't made a major move yet, but that doesn't mean things are in the works. And we're also talking to players. That's significant to me, man. So if they go out and they add on top of this thing with a major move, now we're cooking, in my opinion. We're on the right direction. That will be the cherry on top. As you guys know, I call it the hump player. We haven't really done that. And you might say, well, Quentin Williams, that's not a hump player. That's a, damn, we effed up, we got to get him player. Hump meaning we are here, but this guy gets us over the hump. We were in position to do that for 3 straight seasons, and the Cowboys never done it. In fact, you could argue they kind of made their rosters worse, during those times, or we're playing catch up. I'm not going to use those two words that you use during poker. But that would be an indication of such. I'm talking about all that. Shouts out to you, Donald. He dropped 2 and said, what you say here, brother? Where you at?
Super chat.
Shout out to you, Sky. Keep speaking the truth. I'm trying, bro. I'm trying. Let's see what we got. Just, again, there's not going to be a whole lot of team period stuff. But again, we'll see if we can get Vosh to call in a little bit later during the team and actually discuss what's happening out there. And here we go right here. Vosh said, very serious tone from the O-line as they warm up. No smiling, no dancing to young Miami. Then TV just dropped in here. Shouts out to you. Are we moving different? Hey, man. They go out there and they bring in that big fish for sure. But that does not mean, let me bring this back, though. That doesn't mean they can't target the Von Millers or the Bobby Wagners of the world. They've done that pretty much the last 5 seasons. What makes me believe they're looking to go beyond that is I believe on the record, Stephen Jones said to the media down there, aim higher, think bigger. My man said on 40-Year-Old Virgin, aim high, Willis, aim high. That's what Stephen told the media. Aim high, Willis. Bobby cool, Von cool, fallback plans. We're looking for bigger fish. I'd like to see it. Let me tell you something. Hey, your boy Mo, they go out there and make one of them moves, the Kool-Aid. I will personally have a pitcher full of Kool-Aid that I drink right here with you. Right here with you. No doubt about it. And see, right on cue, we got my brother in the building, man. Boy, I swear, you just know when to call, man. You just know when that bat signal hit, bro. What's up with you, Vach?
What's good with your bro? Can you hear me? Are we good? Is the rap music too loud?
Nah, I can't hear no rap music, and I appreciate you calling in on the Illuminati hotline.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I ain't got long, man. It is locked down out here. It is G14 classified, brother. I had to grab the headphones to get you, but they run a little bit of
That's why you part of B613.
Hold on. Yeah, hold on, bro. Let me move around a little bit. Give me 2 seconds.
Yep.
Give me 2 seconds, man.
Hey, right, ladies and gentlemen, while Vach is getting moving around here, I don't want to hear nothing complain about no audio or nothing. The fact we're getting this is just good enough. Trust and believe us when we tell you it's tight out there. But go ahead, Vach.
Yeah, man. Tight as all get out, bro. You know what I mean? So they are running team right now. First team just came off the field. Second team is out there now. As far as the O-line, D-line aspect, it seems like the Cowboys want to come out here and run the ball a little bit early. This is a team here where they, doing everything they run and pass. It seems like the Cowboys are choosing to run a little bit more. We're getting some good push on the left side, but it's something happening on the right side where we getting kind of caught up over there or whatever. So maybe it's Terrence, maybe it's Book. I'm going to have to keep eyes on that. But as far as the first drive, running the ball, left side was good. When it came to passing the ball, we got a really good pocket, from everybody. But pass was a little bit erratic. That kind of held the ball a little bit in this breathing over on the left side there. But, hey, man, practice just started. We got a lot more to go. You feel me?
Yes, sir. So you said you weren't sure what happened on that right side. How's TG just in that first series that you saw with him?
Give me 2 seconds.
Yep.
Give me 2 seconds.
Gotcha. TG's definitely a guy that go ahead.
All right. So as far as TG goes, feet good so far, hands good so far. Let me pull out my roster. Let me see what the business is. Let me pull out my little Rams roster. I see who here number 10 is. So he's going against Josiah Stewart. Pretty good rep against him. Run game and passing. So TG cool right now.
Okay. I understand we're not getting Myles Garrett, so I hope we get a little Byron Young. Is he out there? Brandon Fisk, like they got a good defensive line in general without Myles Garrett.
Yeah. Cowboys doing a really good job moving the ball now. First team offense moving the ball well. Hey, man, let me tell you something. They got Rams boys walking around all over the place. They don't want none of the shit to get out, but it is what it is. But now they just kind of driving down the field. They are moving, and Cowboys putting together a good little series. Once again, running the football, Scott. So I'm assuming they're going into the season. And look, this could be nothing. This ain't nothing but a joint breaker.
Right.
But it seemed like they really locked in on running the ball, play action, run the ball, play action. And of course, if you can get Value and Terrence on that same page, then that's 5 guys who can dance run the ball. You feel me?
That's so crazy that you're peeping that, because something that I came away with all offseason and listening to Clayton Adams is we're gonna get a shit ton of play action. We already got more of it last year, but the way he talks about it, it seems like they were just kind of scratching the surface with it. And I get today is going to be vanilla. So what better day to do vanilla stuff than generic ass play action, run the football stuff, so you aren't giving away everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Give me 2 seconds.
Yep.
We just had a fumble by Jadon Blue over there. Once again, right side of the offensive line. I got to figure out what's going on with that. But, you know.
So Jaden Blue, first opportunity against opposing ops. We got a fumble.
Mm-hmm.
Don't like that. Hopefully we get
on his fourth carry, seemed like. On his fourth carry. That's when he got the fumble. But the Cowboys were moving the football a little bit.
Yeah, definitely don't like that. Who's out there?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Brevin, Jake, PD, VP, and it was just Jadon Blue and the first team O-line. So now they got the second team out there.
But it was in 12 personnel package. So yeah, you talk about running the football.
You got a little bit of a scrap. Number 11, 50 people around. Who was Cowboys? Number 11. Marquez Valdez.
Oh, he back.
Yeah, he out there. But this is the third team, I believe. Who was number 20, the running back? Malik Davis.
20's going to be
around
Malik.
a little bit.
Yep.
So Marquez ran there, pushing around a little bit. Yo, Scott, I'm going to go ahead and hang this thing up, and I'm going to call you back like 10 minutes, bro.
All right, appreciate you, man. Come
Sir.
on, man. Come on, man. Listen. Come on, man. B613, we got command calling in, man. Come on. Let me close that down. Here we go. That's fire. We'll get Vach back up in here and give us some more play-by-play on what's happening out there. Let's kind of go back to our command center. Speaking of which, Nick Harris said Brian Schottenheimer starting the team period, watching the defense. Interesting, probably because Clayton Adams is over there calling plays. One interesting note from Joe Hoyt. Rams Cowboys jump right into 11 on 11 shotties with the defense instead of with the offense. He's been more involved with the defense this year, and he's allowed Clayton Adams more responsibility with the offense. So try to write down as much as I can. They're running the ball early, a lot. Good push on the left side, a couple different plays where it was odd on the right side. So we'll get some, obviously Voch is going to break this down on his channel at some point too. Fumble by Jaden Blue after the offense was moving the ball. Not good, Bob, because fumbling was one of his main issues at Texas. Guyton seems to be doing fine. I mean, obviously, we'll hopefully get more breakdown, but he's not going up against Miles. But that's okay. I like Byron Jones, and I think Brandon Fisk on the interior could give these guys trouble too. So I want to know how they're doing against them. So sounds like early, just getting things ready to go. But yeah, a lot of people, that's not good. We don't want to hear fumbling from Jaden Blue. We definitely don't want to hear that. Jay says so dumb and not allowing video. That's their policy. I guess they gotta respect that. We'll continue to get more information coming through as best as we can. But so far, that's what we got from Voch. I think that's so fire, bro. Because a lot of this won't really be out until later. So I appreciate that we're able to get something. And Voch just went on over there on Twitter and said, Cowboys choosing to run the ball a ton in teams. The Rams are stout. So that's something that he didn't get a chance to get at. Again, this is why I think this is a good test. This is a physical bunch. It's a really good defensive line. If this was a regular season game, I'd give that defensive line the edge over the Cowboys offensive line. You rolling Myles Garrett out there with the Fisk of the world and Byron Jones. That's a really, really tough group to deal with. So it's going to be interesting to see and follow if they can match the Rams. And that's all you're looking to see right now is to compete. Because in a real game, you're going to obviously game plan. You're not just going to be stagnant. I do want to hear some defensive stuff, though. I do want to hear some defensive stuff. I ain't going to lie. Hopefully, we'll get a little bit of information on that. As we wait for more, there was something, and speaking of defense, I wanted to point out here. Give me a second, Joe. There was something I wanted to point out on the defensive side of the ball that I was waiting to get confirmation from, not just in camp. Preseason probably was going to be the biggest test, but we got the confirmation by Scott Simmons. You guys know, if you've been on this channel for a while, Scott Simmons is one of my favorite hires the Cowboys made among all of these defensive hires. So many good ones. Marcus Dixon, Cheeto is his name, Deribe. Scott Simmons, I think, is a fantastic hire outside of Christian Parker. We know Christian Parker. But he's running the inside linebackers. And it was Tommy Yarish who asked Scott Simmons about their responsibilities in this gap and a half scheme. It's something that I kind of just guessed based off of this team philosophy in this gap and a half and the things we saw among other systems is how are these linebackers going to play? I figured they run that stack fit type of scheme with the linebackers, but we weren't sure yet. He's never called plays. Christian Parker, this is all new. Well, Scott Simmons essentially let us know that's exactly what they're going to do. Take a listen, and shouts out to Tommy Yarish on the question.
With this defensive front playing gap and a half, what's the biggest teaching point for your guys in terms of what they need to do based off of what the guys up front are doing?
Yeah, that's a great question. You got to be able to tempo the ball in those fits on, duo zone schemes. You can't just pull the pin and run in gaps when they're playing a gap and a half. I think that's a lot of times, I tell guys, we worry about what we need to get better at, not looking at what gets put on, on social media outside. There's times in 8-man spacing fits where we can hammer our gaps. We can pull the pin, so to speak, and get downhill. But when you're playing, stack track kind of fits, shell run fits, etc., you're going to try to have to essentially handle 3 gaps with 2 linebackers. So you got to build a tempo and flow fit off the D tackles. So that's
with this defensive front playing gap and a half, what's the biggest teaching point for your guys?
Pretty much laid it out right there, man. Tempo the ball. He called it stack and track. Same thing, stack and fit, right? That's exactly what you would consider that. That to me means we're playing up here first. You're going to need patience, and you're going to need instincts as well, feel of the game. He talked about there's going to be times when there's an 8-man spacing fit, and then we can kind of hammer the gaps and we can shoot the gaps and play that way. But that's not how this linebacker room majority of the time is going to play, which when I think about that gives me the aha moment, which we kind of talked about this on the channel, of the Maris Leofow situation. Maris Leofow, them going in there and saying right away, yeah, we're going to move him to outside linebacker. I think it's because the way they want to play the backers, Maris is more downhill, fire down, shoot, hair on fire, low OC, as opposed to this patience, tempo, flow to the ball type of scheme. So they said, look, let's move him out and have him play forward. Problem there is he's not built to do that, dealing with the tackles, but blitzing and using his speed, sure, fine. So that was very interesting to hear from Scott Simmons, and confirms exactly how they want to play with these backers. And to me, confirms they may still need to go out and add to the room, because it's not a deep room. It's an injury prone room, we know, because of one guy, but it's not a deep room. Can a guy like Maris and Demo and all these other guys, can they learn that? If you listen to Scott Simmons, he said that takes time to teach, but the guys are doing well. So I'm not saying they can't. When I say they, Maris can't. I just wonder if Maris was on the same timeline as these coaches. I don't believe so. We got some people in here saying, what time does practice start? So we got a lot of new people coming through. For those who are not aware, the Cowboys and the media in general are not allowed to film practice. What they can do is they can film individual drills. And we got my guy Vash Lombardi, who is down there with the media, calling in, giving us kind of a rundown of what he's seeing in live in real time. So as we're getting more updates, I will update you guys on it. And as Vach calls in, he will give us what he's seeing down there and whatever one-on-ones we get from the video footage we'll also discuss as well. So here we go already with Nick Harris coming in, roughly 15 snaps so far for the Cowboys defense. He's watching the defense versus the Rams. And it's already a better showing than last year. Wrap it up. Pack up the practice. I'm good to go. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace. Izaraku got a sack. Revel with the pass breakup downfield on Puka Nacua. Overshown making plays in the pass and run game. Rams working on a lot of short game. Appreciate you, Nick Harris, giving us the defensive coverage, brother. Appreciate you. And then Patrick follows that up. 2 sacks early for the Cowboys' first team defense against Matt Stafford. Remember last year, it wasn't Matt Stafford. No, it was Jimmy Garoppolo dicing us up. He said the run defense looks wonderful. Stafford also dropped back early, hurried the ball to Puka Nacua, and Savon Revel was glued to him a step for step for a pass breakup. Joe Hoyt. DeMar Van Overshown just had back-to-back nice plays that got the sideline fired up. He had a nice run fill for a short gain and then had a stop on a check down to force a punt. He's flying around. Bro, this is already 10 times better than what we saw last year. Already. I remember the chunking of the deuces, Kyron Williams. We constantly heard, basic motion was messing up the Cowboys defense. These boys seem much more prepared. And shout out to my OG. Confidence comes from preparation. These boys are prepared, man. These boys are prepared. Lunny said, I'm about to cry, man. Hey, listen, they can wrap it up. I don't need to see nothing else. Matt Stafford and Stetson Benson have both made a few completions. Stafford's best being a nasty deep out to the sideline. But what stands out to me, little to no yak at all. Pressure keeps moving Rams quarterback off their spots and forcing discomfort. Come on. Hey, we allowed to little overreact a little bit, man. When you come from the 49th ranked defense, yeah, we're allowed to read this and overreact a little bit. So if you don't want to join that party, then feel free. Don't let the door hit you with a good Lord split. Hey, appreciate you, Frederick. I'm a Seahawks fan, but my brother bleeds blue and silver with stars. He loves the Cowboys. Really hope for him that the Cowboys win their division and end up going to the Super Bowl. I ain't never had no problem with no Seahawks fan, man. Shouts out to you. I ain't never had no problem. Dustin Ritter says, Scott, do you think we will be running any stunts against them or just bread and butter? So that's my thing, right? I think we're going to be very vanilla. I don't see the Cowboys running a whole lot of stunts. They may work on something here and there, but I feel like they're going to keep this thing tight because they play this team. And look, y'all know how I feel about the whole media, this and that, filming. It's one thing to film. It's another thing to go out there and just unleash the entire playbook on a team you're going to play. I don't care if it's later in the season. I'm using every little information I can get against you if I'm playing against you. So I feel like they're going to be tight. I don't really see them running too many of the stunts they may run in the season. Maybe some normal ass tight, tackle end stunts, basic stuff everybody does. But what I've been seeing at camp is it's not just basic stuff. They're sending these linebackers on blitzes, corner blitzes, right, with a stunt, a lot of zone drop. It's some creative stuff. I don't see them doing that in this practice, man. What's good, Sir Deezy? Joe Hoyt with an update says first team drill session is done. By this point last year, the defense was getting shell-shocked by the Rams. Let me blow this up, nigga. Can y'all see that a little more? Was getting shell-shocked by the Rams. This time, the Cowboys defense has held up very well. The longest play of the Rams was 12 to 15 yards out route from Matthew Stafford to Puka Nacua against Savon Revel. If that is the biggest play, I'll take it. Isaiah Land's on the board. Okay. Nick Harris said Isaiah Land getting busy with the 2s and 3s. A sack and a stop at the line of scrimmage on a outside zone. Maris Leofow, we just talked about him, has a sack. Curtis Robinson, a couple of run stops at the line of scrimmage. This for Isaiah Land and Maris Leofow is huge, right? Because those guys weren't, now Maris Leofow did have a punch out, but you were looking to see them hopefully make some noise on the out as an outside linebacker because you want as much depth out there as possible, right? So seeing Leah Fowl and a guy who I like coming out, all of us did years ago, they call him Masat King. Isaiah Land get on the board is huge here against the Rams. You love to see it. As we get some more updates happening, let's hit the phone lines and talk to my guy LA out there in LA. What's up with you, bro?
Man, I'm actually taking a day off from camp, man. I've been out there shooting and giving Cowboy Nation all kind of clips and content, man. But they ain't let us out there today, so I'm working on a diabolical scheme, man. And I was just gonna post a whole bunch of the Rams Cowboys scrimmage from last year. You know, and just start streaming that, you know, because it's downtime right now, and I need to be overexcited and overstimulated, and I need a reason to hijack my timeline and make sure that any
you don't want to post
you
don't want to post that though. You don't want to post last year's scrimmage. Ugh.
Well, I'm not gonna post it anywhere on my shit. I was gonna pose as make like a burner account and be like a Rams fan.
You wild boy, you wild.
Yeah.
Hey, we got another update. Hold on real quick. We got another update from practice. Joe Hoyt says one notable play, a Caleb Downs potential tackle for loss. He tagged off. He can't tackle. Where he shot the gap. Yeah. He's pointed to the ground after to make sure people knew he was tagged. He tagged Williams down, Kyron Williams. So no peace signs being thrown up with Caleb Downs in there, y'all.
Not at all, man. That boy's a natural, man. He looked like a bad, like how Kyler Murray looked like a bad baby, like an angry toddler, you know, like Caleb, because the helmet, man. He just always he seemed like he's so annoying to the offense already, you know. Yeah. Like I was watching one of the reps where CD was about to run the 7 route on him in the corner, you know, and the way that he was playing off and the way that he shaded and just sat patient, it tore CD up. You know, it was, you know, and he had to readjust, and Caleb ended up like making him get the ball out of his hand and everything. But the boy's just so sticky, man. His natural instincts are really good. He's magnetic to the ball, you know. Yeah. And I swear, like every day.
There was a somebody on Twitter was like, man, I don't know what Caleb, I got to see it and this and that and this. And in my head, I say, man, you know, doubt at your own peril. Like, you want to doubt him, that's fine. But if he were to miss, it would be the shock of all shocks to me. I thought he was one of the easiest prospects to scout and translate into the NFL. And if he misses, it would be the upset of all upsets. I think this guy is money in the league. We are lucky to have Caleb Downs.
No, man, we really are, man. And like, I don't ever remember a dude coming out of college and getting this much verbal fellatio, like, from everybody, you know, but saying that to say, like it's duly noted, man. I've been out there practice every day. This is the first practice that I've missed, you know, and saying that to say, like, he regardless of where he's lined up at, his first step is always the right step. Like even in the run fit, like even in the run fit, you know. So he's been lining a lot up in both slots, you know. But even if he ends up being in the middle of the defense, or if he's in the slot and being able to see shit and come and fill inside B gap, that's fantastic.
Yeah, he definitely can diagnose like a. It's funny seeing him do that at the not the line of scrimmage, but the second level. He has like these Sean Lee type instincts, and he's supposed to be a damn safety, right? But he has those instincts as a safety.
That's exactly what I'm saying, dog. Bro. And it's sixth sense. And so my thing is, like, with him being very instinctual second level, right? But physically being able to cover great. 55 being instinctuul and being downhill orientated, man, we about to be good, bro.
Oh, yeah. Hey,
they really retooled.
Hey, LA, let me get back to these updates, but appreciate you, big dog. But don't you ever call back in here talking about some verbal fellatio ever again, sir. What you talking?
Nah, that was the fun SAT words for your audience,
Oh,
man. I love
boy,
it.
you
Everybody
wild.
love everybody, man.
All right, brother. Appreciate you, man.
Take it
boy.
easy.
Hey, shouts out to Boss in there. Hey, Boss, tell brother to, hey, take it easy on my back. Boss. What he talking about? Hey, shouts out to Joe Hoy. Hey, get back here, Joe Hoy. Where you go? All right, we got some good notes. We got some notes. Here we go. Joe Hoy says 2 other plays. Jalen Thompson got juked by Javonte Adams after the catch on what would have been a solid gain. I can't win them all. Y'all hear that outside, don't worry about it. And then Puka Nacua had a step on a deep wheel route against Savon Revel, but Revel caught up and it was incomplete. That takes me to here. We're talking about Caleb Downs. We're gonna go to my practice board real quick. Apologies, they cutting grass right outside my door. It's really annoying. So he says Puka Nacua had a step on a deep wheel route. That's interesting. The wheel route aspect, because that, I mean, again, he runs that a lot, Sean McVay, but it's something that seems would be a little creative in our world. It would be creative in our world. The reason why I bring that up, and it's perfect because I'm going to look at my practice board right here. I want to skip right down to Caleb dealing with McVay. Sounds like he's having a good time right now dealing with McVay. I say Caleb dealing with McVay for stuff like that. What they love to do in LA is that insert, right? They are at the forefront pioneers of taking that insert portion of a play, switching it up, using an actual wide receiver, and that's why these guys have to block, and then play action and doing all types of routes off field with action. I mean, it is really, when we play the Rams or I'm studying the Rams, I love watching that particular play. What it does is it puts a bind on that corner, usually the slot. Puts a bind on that guy. And if you aren't physical, which Caleb is, if you can't cover, which we believe he can, it really makes it difficult. So I want to hear, not see, how Caleb Downs is dealing with something like that, because that is something that the league is starting to do. We see a lot of that McVay, Shanahan tree doing it. The Cowboys did a little bit of it a few years ago. I think we'll start to see more as well. So that's something I want to see. And then the defensive energy is already up. It's already up. Shouts out to my guy, John Machota. And we'll get to Guyton in a second. Let's get back to this real quick. John Machota told us we can't take video, but he says some notables from the early part of team drills. Nothing big from the offense. Dak targeted CeeDee Lamb on a play action, but the pass was broken up. Big one we talked about earlier. Jaden Blue fumbled. Joe Milton with the twos. That is a big deal because this is really likely the best test we're going to get for some of these guys, and especially the first team. But this kind of tells me that Joe Milton's going to roll out there with the twos in preseason. And then Clayton Adams was calling the offense. Before I get to the defense, real quick on that, let me mute this. So I get what he's trying to do. Can I be honest with y'all for a second, though? I get what Coach Shoddy is trying to do with Clayton Adams. A lot of teams do this, specifically during the preseason. A will have the non-play caller call plays. I don't know if Clayton's ever going to call plays, though, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you, there's a couple things that he was saying and I was seeing when they talked to him last week. They said, "Hey, Coach, how's it going, man? You know, they're calling plays. It's new for you. How's it going?" Well, the first thing I need to do is figure out where the hell CeeDee Lamb is going to be on a particular play. Huh? Hey, Clayton, go ahead. Just go right back to the meeting rooms and put together the game plan for the run game and coach that O-line up. I don't need you to call plays, fam. You don't know where CeeDee Lamb is at? Then it was this one time, I think it was the .com. They had the video going around, and Clayton Adams was in his playbook like this, but he looks so pressured. Clayton Adams was fighting for his life. Oh, Clayton. Jody, I appreciate what you're doing, bro. I appreciate what you're doing. But your mans don't know where CeeDee. It's like you playing Madden and then you say, "I'll be right back, bro." Hey, bro, go ahead and run these couple plays, bro. You come back and you buck or whoever just did ass Madden the whole time. They just ass Madden. I'm good. I'm good off that. These are important reps, Shotty. I'm gonna need you to go ahead and call the plays. Goddammit. I want to see what these boys can do out there. That's all I'm saying. Donovan Izarako had a sack and a nice run stop. We talk about that. And Caleb Downs had an impressive tackle for loss on a run play. Wish we could see that play. I would like to know how that play came about. All right, let's go back. Nicole Hutchinson, this is a big one right here. Can confirm Stafford is testing every level of the defense, and Dallas defense has had an answer. Y'all, come on. This wasn't the case last year, man. This wasn't the case. All right, here we go. Rashawn Gary put the Rams' first team right tackle in the dirt on his way to almost sacking Stafford, but Stafford just narrowly got the ball away for a short completion. Rashawn Gary is continuing a fire camp. Not sure who the right tackle is over there. I'll go pull up their. Bear with me real quick. Apologies for the bad radio, but I got you in 1 second. I know they said like Note Boom and all them boys, but I'm not sure anymore. Warren McClendon. Unless they got somebody else out there, obviously they could be switching stuff around. Joe Hoyt, one under the radar player who has impressed in the first team drills, outside linebacker Isaiah Land. You know, we just mentioned him the other day, or not the other day, earlier. Had multiple pressures against the Rams' second team offense and at least one sack. And Voss just, Voss said, I believe Clayton Adams is calling the plays for the offense. That explains all this running. Plenty practice to go. My man said he don't know where CD Lamb at, so we just gonna keep running. What Cat Williams say? Hey, Clayton Adams, when you roll out of bed and you go to call plays, what you thinking about? Running? That's all, Clay. That's what you're supposed to do, Clay. So shouts out to you, big dog. Drug test, Gary. Yeah, Gary having one, man. Gary is having one. Would love if we could hear a little bit more about, Malachi and Izarako, which he did get a sack. So let's see if Izarako it is. So let's see if we can hear more about our opposite guys of Rashawn Gary. Here we go. Let's see. Nicole says, the defense has been taking much better angles when tackling. Come on. Saw Reddy Stewart cutting off space for Kyron Williams on an outside run play. Look at you. Okay, Nicole. Voss Lombardi, 10, having a hard time seeing the field today. Throws an interception. All right, so we got our first interception. All right, man, we getting interceptions. We getting fumbles. Can't be having that. We can't be having that. Better not do that in the regular or the preseason. Them saxophones finna get real loud for a couple of these players if that happens. That's what I'm saying. Joe Hoyt, Cowboys cornerback Savone Revel just had the most casual hit stick I've seen. Went to pop a Rams running back and sent him flying for a forced fumble. Savone Revel, man. Hey, Print. He said, are we up or down in scores? They don't keep scores, man. They don't keep scores. I mean, they might, I suppose, but it's not really about that, I don't think. For a scrimmage like this, it ain't even really a scrimmage. It's a practice. Now, you're going to keep scores individually, but I think in this case, we're working on third down offense. They're not really doing full-fledged, we got 10 minutes. We're going to do a whole 10-minute first quarter, stuff like that. So I think you got to look at it a little bit differently, bro. That's for sure. That's for sure. Revel ain't never been scared, ever. Hey, they coming through with these updates. They're way more updated on what's happening now than they were down in Oxnard. I feel like we weren't getting it this quick. So Calvin Watkins, Joe Milton with the pick. I guess it was a nice leaping pick by Alex Cook. There we go, right here, y'all. 60 has been solid, talking about Guyton. 78 having some trouble. 78 been talking about Cuzzo. Been having trouble all damn camp, it seemed like. I feel like at this point, Trouble is his middle damn name when it comes to camp. Speaking of which, who's over there? I would love to know. Because we know about Brandon Fisk. We know about Poona Ford, Byron Young, Kobe Durant. Kobe Turner, excuse me. One of the best young defensive lines without Myles Garrett. You throw Myles Garrett out there, it is just a nasty defensive line. So that's not good. We don't want Cuzzo to be having no damn trouble over there. Still the troubler. Here we go. Snide note, Nuck if you buck. They have on Nuck if you buck and try not to dance. You better than me, Nicole. You're better than me. Here we go. Here we go. All right, first touchdown I've seen against the Cowboys defense. Matt Stafford found Puka Nacua deep. Boy, they testing Savon. On Savon Revel, he's been targeted by Stafford often. Okay, that's okay. You want Savon Revel to be tested by a Matt Stafford against a guy like Puka Nacua. One thing we've talked about here jokingly is that Caleb Downs is going to get baptized. Out there going against CeeDee Lamb in that slot, if he's going up against him every day, then who he sees in a regular season is no big deal. Now, he's a whole different competitor. I think he's a better player than Savon Revel. He ain't coming off no injury either. So bounce back. How do you bounce back? That's the biggest thing. I don't take Savon Revel for being a guy who shies away from that, has confidence issues or anything like that. Excuse me. So if I'm Savon Revel, I welcome more targets my way. Because now I need to bounce back. That's just the competitor in me. I need to get this pick now. I need to make this play. Now, sometimes you got to check that because then you start playing hero ball. Right? So I want to see how he bounces back. Omar said, I haven't heard nothing about Devontae. I'm imagining you're talking about Adams. Apparently he had a good play. He shook Jalen Thompson earlier in the practice. Yes, Savon is definitely getting tested. And he's made some plays too, right? So how you bounce back? No C said Devin Moore. So that was on Devin Moore. Is that what we're getting at? So I wonder if this is another play. Matt Stafford's first clean pocket of the day, and he tries a deep ball that's completed against rookie Devin Moore. The first and only chunk play for the Rams offense. So I wonder, is that? And it might have been. It might have been Devin Moore and not Savon Revel, because I think that other tweet got deleted. Good catch. Good catch. Down bottom card. Deuce says, how is Downs looking, Scott? Everything we're hearing about Caleb Downs is he's looking really good out there right now against the Rams. He's made a couple. One reporter said it would have been a big hit, but he had to pull off. He had another play where he failed to run very well. So it's sounding like a lot of run game stuff for Caleb. I'm very interested to see how he fares on some of these routes down the field, 15, 20 yards down the field. But if he's thriving underneath, perfect. And it sounds like the Rams were working on underneath stuff, but everything we're hearing at this moment is Caleb Downs has looked every bit like we thought Caleb Downs would look like. Thank you, Small. So it was incorrect. It was not on Savon Revel. It was on, I believe, Devin Moore. That's all right. And Vosh just did it. Another one. Tough day for Cuzzo, come on, man. What you doing, bro? You ain't got no choice though, because we ain't got nobody to back him up. So what we gonna do? We gonna do, man? Not a good day for Cuzzo, fam. Not a good day, it sounds like, for Cuzzo. That sucks, man. That sucks. Do me a favor, if you're enjoying this content, please hit this like button, man. We're trying to give y'all as much as we can from an updated standpoint without the video. If you're having a good time, take no time but to hit that like button. Share this if you are new here, you just jumped in and you like what you see. Subscribe if you're new is what I really should say. because we got a lot of cool stuff like this happening throughout the season, especially if you're a Cowboy fan. I mean, come on with it. God. Nick Harris. Now D. Winters is getting in the mix. Back-to-back stops. One over the middle in the pass game. Another behind the line of scrimmage on an outside zone. One thing I did not point out during the Scott Simmons interview, he spoke up D. Winters in a good way. Like, he went out of his way to praise him and his play and his really IQ in picking up this scheme. So we all liked D. Winters when he was traded for. The film looked good. That was just about translating what he did in San Francisco and adapting to what we're doing here. And it sounds like he's doing a damn good job with a pass breakup already. 2, one over the middle and one behind the line of scrimmage. Shout out to my guy Aaron. Aaron believes he is not a good cover guy, but all the metrics, and I saw some of the film too. I like him. I think he's solid in coverage. I'm not really sure where you believe he gets cooked. I think he's a good cover linebacker. Good enough. Let me say that. It's tough nowadays to be a fantastic cover linebacker. So he probably is going to be your most comfortable cover linebacker. I think he's going to be your most comfortable guy. Agent Zero just hasn't done a ton of it because he hasn't played, right? A whole lot. And Barham is a rookie that just is coming off of being a full-time outside line or edge, if you will, last year in Michigan. So I think he's the best one. All right, here we go. Somebody else fumbled. It better not be Blue. And this is the play. Shouts out to Patrick Nosey Walker going a little bit more detail here. He says, whoa, Matt Stafford hands the counter left off to Blake Corum, and D. Winters absolutely obliterates the play before he gets back to the line of scrimmage. Sir, the speed and recognition. We just talked about this earlier with Scott Simmons. This scheme is going to be more about the feel at the position, your awareness, being able to recognize what you're seeing. It's not just going to be about shooting. It's going to be about tempoing to the ball, as Scott Simmons said, right? That is huge. And D. Winters is your most experienced guy. It's your most experienced. It's going to be interesting. You know, I joked around saying, hey, man, one of these guys better not get hurt because Jayshawn Barham is on the come, right? And this was before we even got out there. But the problem now is Jayshawn Barham's hurt. I hope he can play this weekend because he was on a trajectory of being the middle linebacker and letting D. Winters and Demo battle it out for the outside part. But if he can't play and he kind of gets into the situation where his camp is limited, they're probably going to go with the veteran guys. So far, 2 periods, Brian Schottenheimer has been on the defensive field with Christian Parker. He's liking what he's seeing by far, can tell by clapping, running, and dapping up guys almost every play. He ain't playing about this defense. He ain't playing. I look over here. Blue's not the number 2. I don't think Blue is a number 2, but not because of the reasons y'all think. I think Blue has a role. I think the number 2 back is more so, to me, should be a part of the rotation and not looked at as, oh, this is running back number 2 is going to get 15 touches again. Like, we don't have that on this roster because I don't think we have a special one. I think it should be a collective. I think it really should be a committee that is led by Javonte Williams, who's going to get your 17 to 20 touches, and the rest of the guys kind of divvy it up. Respects to Javonte, by the way. Love that guy, but he's not, Gibbs and them boys. Yeah, I don't believe he's a number 2 in the traditional sense of, all right, here we go. If he goes down, this is our guy to touch it 15, 20 times. Nah, I think he is a James White, and I would use him in that way until he can. Honestly, you want him to have a trajectory like a Tony Pollard did. A guy who wasn't the greatest pass blocker, great catch the ball at the backfield, and he improved as a runner, he improved as a pass blocker, but he just wasn't that number 1 type of guy early. You would hope he projects that way. I don't see him projecting to a number 1, but he can still be a James White throughout his career, but gotta stop fumbling the ball. We got a pick We got a pick. Justin Barron, shouts out to you, man. Justin Barron has an INT off of Matt Stafford. The Cowboys had their second team linebackers with the starters, and Barron made a play. So Justin Barron, and there's the other, is it Robinson? Charles? I won't say Charles Robinson. There's a Robinson, I believe is his last name. I think those two guys are battling out right now as currently constructed for the final linebacker spots. We are very hyper-focused, as we should, on the starters and that third guy, right? And we know who those three are. But ladies and gentlemen, they have to carry at least 4 or 5 linebackers, special teams, depth, etc. And if I had to guess based off of camp right now, Justin Barron seems to be leading the charge as a guy who can be a special teams dude and is kind of showing up in that third unit. So there's a guy you want playing and starting, probably not, but you're not going to roll 3 linebackers out there. Who's 4? Who's 5? Can they play special teams and can they show up in preseason and in situations like this? So shouts out to Justin Barron. Shoddy is now moved back to the offensive side. And Vosh Lombardi with the run game update. He says, tough day for Cowboys run game. CD drew a pass interference. A big catch downfield for GP on the right side. Left side of O-line holding up well. Play action game is not there at all. Vosh, who calling the plays? So don't want to read and overreact too much to all this, but sometimes you got to, right? Here's my thinking on the play action game. The way they want to marry the play action to the run and pass, I think is going to be unique. We saw a lot of it last year. A lot of cool pulls and movement, post-action stuff. If I had to guess, and this is why I want Vosh to come over, I don't think we're probably seeing any of that, man. If I had to guess, we're probably seeing some very generic-ass play action. Now, with that said, you still would like it to be successful. But if I had to guess, man, I don't know if we've seen a lot of it. Here we go. We got a Malachi Lawrence update here from Patrick No C Walker. Malachi deletes the cutback attempt by the Rams running back after right gaps disappear quickly. Great play by the Rook to break down and drive on him. Or it's a huge play with a lot of yak. Shouts out to Malachi Lawrence. We talked about how we wanted to see, him get involved and put his name in the ring, if you will. And he's kind of stacking some days, right? I think he had a pretty good day, him and Donovan Izaraku the other day. But Saturday is going to be huge for Malachi Lawrence and his confidence, I think. Let me hit the phone lines while we continue to wait for some updates here. Shouts out to Twan from Connecticut. What's good with you, Twan? Ooh, hold on. Justin Barron just got another interception, ladies and gentlemen. See? This is the time to make a name for yourself. If you're on that down roster, you make plays in a setting like this against Matt Stafford, by the way. Against Matt Stafford, you are going to rise up the depth chart. So I don't know where he may have been to them, but if somebody was above him, unless something changes, based off of today, Justin Barron is likely going to get more tick on Saturday because of what he's doing today. So shouts out to Justin Barron.
Shouts out to him.
What's up, man? What you got for me?
Man, I'm just gonna go and say it. The Cowboys are moving different, and I know you kind of disagree, but we are.
No, you ain't listening.
And
there's certain things they're moving different, and there's certain things they're not. But what I think is funny is that anything the Cowboys do that is normal is considered moving different because we hungry, we thirsty, we starving for regular organizational operation. So I just think that's funny. Like every time the Cowboys do anything, we're moving different, and it's like, bro, we're doing regular football stuff. But I get it.
We don't do normal. We don't do normal things.
I get it.
We just don't.
I get it.
But Skies, something's about to happen. Something is about to happen. You said we got $20 million in cap space.
Yes, sir.
Now,
allegedly,
somebody's about to get a call. These phones are working, and Jerry and Steve and Pat Boy decide to come around and say, let's push the chips in the middle of the table, Scott. I can feel it. I don't usually call your phone sounding like this.
Yes, you do.
No. Remember, I was out on us a couple years ago.
A couple years ago, but not the last 2 years, my boy. But hey, Twan, I got to get to this update. This is huge. So unless you want to hold for a quick second.
Yeah, I'll take a hold.
Hold for a quick second because I want to talk about this because this is something at the beginning of the show I didn't think would happen. Christian Parker is scheming his ass off, says Patrick Nosey Walker. Multiple first team sacks, 3 so far, plus 2 interceptions. Run defense is shutting down the running backs entirely. I am impressed. I think this is why Christian Parker wants to shut down the cameras. I would love to know. Oh, I'm gonna have to get Pat on here, and we're going. Foch isn't over there. Would love to know if this is literally he's scheming, like he wasn't able to do during the Oxnard practices because of the footage or whatnot during public, or if this is just Cowboys playing base defense making plays. Would love to know. He's not going to give us that answer in regards to if you ask Christian Parker that, but you can tell. If you're out there at practice like they are, and you're watching them do different things on the back end, maybe they're showing like that Fangio 6 cover 2, and then they switch to cover 3 at the snap. They're getting shifts going. They're getting stunts going, delayed blitzes, zone blitzes. Yeah, we're scheming now. And if that is working against Matt Stafford and them boys, which it looks like it is, look out. Look out. All right, Twan, go ahead, bro. I just wanted to kind of talk about that quick.
Okay, no doubt. God, something is about to happen. Something is brewing. We are in for a good season. All we need for this defense to be 16th at best. I believe when Drew Brees and them won it, when they had that crazy offense and he was doing how he was doing, they was probably like 20th, right or wrong, somewhere around that area.
Back in 2006 or 9, I think it was. Yeah, something like that.
9. Yeah, that's all we need. But with this alleged $20 million, we gotta go get somebody.
Yes.
Hope it's a Max. Hope it's a Sweat. I'll take a Jordan Brooks. Those 3, honestly, those 3. I don't really want anybody else.
They are, in my opinion, looking. That's what it sounds like. Let me say this: you do have to guard yourself with this organization because they're odd. However, the way they're talking, Steven, the way Jerry's talking, that you want to talk about different. I don't know if you were here earlier. That the way they're openly saying we are open for major business. Major, talking about first round, second round type picks, maybe a player, and I ain't talking about pick, but maybe a player. That's different to me, man. I've seen for years they would shut that shit down because they like their guys. They would shy away from it. They're not shying away. They're almost calling out to the rest of the league, like, hey, y'all want some picks,
like,
man? Y'all got any more of them picks?
Yeah, this is, and I feel like they're saying, yo, let's finally put some chips in front of the table and let's go at it. And if you hear how Clay Adams talking, you called it earlier in your show, me personally, I feel like the offense is gonna flip the script this year.
They might, bro. But I gotta let you go, Twan, man. We're about to get a major update from our guy Voch Lombardi. Appreciate you, bro.
Peace.
All right, we got Voch reporting live from Woodland Hills out there at camp. What you seeing, Voch?
Top of the morning, you know what I'm saying? I got 5 minutes to be out there punting the ball and shit, so that ain't real football, you feel me? So I just took me a little step here. Hey man, so as far as the offense goes, first of all, apparently defense over there is tearing shit up, knocking people out, catching picks, and going crazy over there. I ain't watching it, but I'm gonna have to catch up on the updates later. But as far as the give me 2 seconds. As far as the offense goes, it's been a rough day. So what I figured out is Clayton Adams is calling the plays, and if he's O-line guy, he's going to be more partial to run the football. But I do think he needs to figure out that there needs to be like a backup plan just in case shit don't work. And the Rams defense is a stout unit, and it's kind of tough to run the ball against them in general. So I'm waiting on him to pull out like another little something in his old bag or whatever, and he's not doing that. Like, we're constantly trying to run the ball, and it's not working. I figured out the right side problem is Cuzzo. Like, Cuzzo get his ass smoked real
That's
real
what it
bad.
sounds like.
And he's against Byron Young. You know, Byron Young is a top tier player doing his thing over there. But TG's dealing with Josiah School, and he's doing a really good job over there consistently with Josiah. Now it is a fight, and that's something I want to emphasize too. All this shit is a fight, and versus Rams unit, it is going to be a lot of stalemates and even fights or whatever. So if they kind of clog up the middle sometimes, I get it. If it's not, big push on the left side, I understand. But the problem is Terrence is the only one going backwards. You know what I'm saying? That's the one thing that we can't have. There's this one play where Dak got air quotes sacked, and he still kind of threw the ball a little bit, and it ended up being this big catch down the sideline to GP, but it only happened this way because it was practice. If it was in a game, Terrence got beat, real fast. You know what I'm saying? Real fast by Byron Young. It's a weird little day for him. Even in the run game stuff is a little weird for Cuzzo. So that might be something that they're going to look at the film and have to have a conversation about. But from the left tackle to the right guard, we looking decent. What I would love for Clayton Adams to do is to acknowledge that when the Cowboys are passing the ball, they're actually blocking it up pretty decent. Terrence did get beat that one-time pass block, but for the most part, you're having a better day throwing the ball pass blocking than run blocking. So I would love for Clayton to throw a little switch up. And let's go down the field a little bit with Lamb, go downfield a little bit with GP. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of see what that even looks like. But as far as what Clayton's doing the most, he's trying to run the ball and he's trying to play action. That's not working because run not working.
So a couple things to take away from it. So it sounds like collectively they're better in the pass block department, although Terrence had his struggles over there, but it seems like that aspect, the line is blocking better, but the run game, they're fighting.
100%, Mr. Wolf.
Okay, the other thing is with Clayton, I was kind of joking around, but, Clayton Adams they asked him about how's it going, calling plays, and he said, well, right now I'm just trying to figure out where the hell CD Lamb lines up. And to me, I would have just shut that shit down. Because if you don't know...
That's a lie. That's false.
No, I mean, I think he was for real, bro. Because he never called plays in his life. He brought up that, this is brand new to him. And I think you can see the pressure from Clayton Adams as a play caller. So what I wonder is if while we're out there, as you said, we're doing a lot of running. Well, maybe that's because Clayton Adams is responsible for putting in the run game play. And that's could be potentially why they're doing it. Now, what I wanted to ask you from a play action standpoint, do you see any creativeness in play action, or is this just regular ass play action? Because
the Rams are doing a really good job. Oh, damn, guys, you see somebody to the side too. So the Rams doing a real good job of not letting us see very much. Like they keeping us in one end zone, and they going away from us. So don't let me lie to you and your audience or whatever. But it's really like play action, look for Jakes, play action, look for Brevin. It ain't really like that from what I can see. But gotcha. I could be wrong because I'm in one end zone and they going away. Gotcha. One last thing I'm gonna let you go. I'm seeing a bunch of 12 and a bunch of 11. Joe Milton is not seeing it good. Joe Milton threw 2 picks. So everyone, man, appreciate you.
All right, bro. Appreciate you with the updates, man. Man, fantastic, brother. Lucky to have a brother like Vach. Y'all have no idea. Lucky. Sounds like we are back with some of the drills. I thought I just seen something up here. God damn. I thought they were back up there. Could have been wrong. All right, so what I took away from there, pass blocking is doing okay. Cuzzo, not so much. A lot of 12, 11, which we kind of took away from the very first call we had from Vosh Lombardi with the updates. Shouts out to George Pickens. He is having a day on offense so far, says Nick Harris. Multiple grabs, including a back shoulder connection with Dak, and we'll just let this play as we go. We don't got that much footage, so we're going to play what we can play over there. I wish I'd asked him more about the backs, but I guess it could have been hard. And I guess we're not getting enough visual evidence to see how the play action is going, because to me, again, I'm big on the Cowboys are going to do a lot of play action this year, but I'm trying to not overreact one way or the other. But I'm lying because on defense, nigga, I'm gonna overreact. My bad. Offensively, though, I don't think either side of the ball is going to be doing any type of scheming. So I do want to know, is Clayton Adams running anything creative, or are we just doing regular stuff and that's why it's not working? Let's see if we got any more updates. I'm gonna get back to the chat and talk to y'all, man. All right, Pat said he's now going to the offensive side, so let's see there. Nick, stay on the defense, bro. I want to know about this defense. Man. Lowe said at this point, the O-line may need a bigger emphasis than D-line. What do you mean by that? Like bringing in somebody? Yes, Brandy. Blue fumbled earlier in the scrimmage. I believe the very first one. Y'all wildin', man. It said Clarence still need to be cut. I'm telling you, man. Look, I'm all for upgrading. That will mean you have to go out and you have to make a massive trade or sign somebody who's semi-retired right now that could be better. I know Clarence Steele is crazy. All for it. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying to tell you right now, the upgrade ain't on the roster. That ain't happening, so quit asking, bro. Pickens can make a play for top of the top. I mean, better than all of them, says Anvil. I'm just in the chat, man. See what we're talking about. Call Tyler. Somebody said call Tyron is who you're talking about. Out of retirement. Yeah, we can get Tyron Smith, sure. Decker is a guy I thought about too, in general. Omar said, word Drew Shelton ain't there, huh? No, man. And look, I don't want to put this. Drew Shelton never was it coming in. It just wasn't the case. He needed to bake. He was a fourth round pick for a reason. He's worse than Terrence Steele at this point. So you don't want to go backwards. You want to improve, right? And I don't think that improvement is on the roster as we currently speak. So, look, I'm not going to keep going into my thought process of offensive line in regards to you're not going to have 5 amazing offensive linemen. There's going to be a weak link. Terrence is clearly, obviously, the weak link, excuse me. But as long as he's the 5th guy, not my 1st or 2nd guy, your offense will still be able to do what they need to do. Okay? It needs to be. If they can't, you have more of an issue outside of right tackle. If 4 of your 5 offensive linemen are playing really good football, the other one is average to below average, and you can't keep it rolling, the problem ain't what you think then, in my opinion. But if I can get an upgrade, let's do it. If not, I'm not cutting him to put Drew Shelton or Nate Thomas out there. They are worse. Worse. All right, here we go. Let's see what we got over here. Shouts out to Joe Hoyt and Vach and Nick. Let's start down here with Nick. Seeing more Caleb Downs in a true safety alignment. If y'all were here for the last one, that is something that I wanted to see. More Caleb on the roof and in coverage. Just very curious to see how he does. He says alignment today, along with his usual nickel responsibilities that we've seen more of in camp. Further emphasis that he will be moved around throughout games. And Vach says start the team period 3. TG and Big Tyler are sliding humans in the run game. Tyler Guyton in the run game looks, if you look at his rookie year or his Oklahoma tape to now, it seems night and day. And big play on flow or by flow on the left, big run by Malik. All right, now offense starting out a lot better. Simultaneously, and here's the play. Offense, Dak Prescott found Ryan Flournoy for a big gain. And on the other side of the field, the Cowboys had a coverage bust. All right, it's the first one. Wide open touchdown for Rams tight end Terrence Ferguson. So the Cowboys have had, from my counting, seems to be this is their 2nd or 3rd coverage bust this camp. I'm here to tell you right now, that's an upgrade. However, we don't want coverage bust. If you're going to get beat. We don't want the coverage bust, though. So I'm sure the next time they talk to the coaches or the players, they'll be asked about that. You said Tyler Guyton, a giant among giants for sure. 6'8", 330 plus. That's a huge dude, man. That's a huge dude. Smalls, next time Vach calls in, I will put that on the list. Hold on. Yeah, any questions y'all got, man? I know Vach is going to give us what he can give us in 5 minutes or less because, so questions might be tough to come by. But T. Booker. Let me write that down. Timmy Terry, appreciate your call or in the chat. For those who are just jumping up in here, they are not allowing video footage of the practice. This is the most you're going to get. They're only allowing individual drills, but team periods, they are not allowing it. So we are following along as best as we can via my Oxnard Camp beat. And we also have Vosh Lombardi calling in, who is down there at the practice giving us updates. You're not getting the real live updates likely anywhere else right now live. So I'm telling you, shouts out to everybody rocking. But what you're getting from Voch is massive, brother Timmy. So yes, we can't give you the video, but we're going to give you the play-by-play as best we can when he calls in. So appreciate y'all for rocking. Again, make sure to hit that like button if you are enjoying this play-by-play breakdown via Twitter and via Vosh Lombardi calling in. And I'd be remiss if I did not shout out our sponsors of today's show, which is Prize Picks. Right? Not that one, man. Get up out of here. Not that one either, man. Get up out of here. Not that one, man. That one. Shout out to Prize Picks. Use the promo code HMA. New users pay $5. They get $100. $150 if you win. I've got my season picks already lined up. Jake Ferguson, I got more than 4.5 tutties. Javonte Williams, I got more than 1 reception touchdown. And George Pickens is getting more than 7 reception touchdowns. Call it a low homerish if you want, but I think all those things are easy money. But it's easy to play this thing. Download the app, head on over, play your $5 if you're a new user. You get $150 in lineups if you win. Shouts out to Prize Pick. Use a promo code HMA. Let's get back to it. And we got some video footage of the Justin Barron pick. Let's see. Hold on. Justin Barron, I'm going to let you finish. Hold on. We getting some video now. Wait, let's go. I'm going to let you finish, Justin Barron. Is that cute? Hold up, bro. See, this is what happens. When you play well, your number gets called. Justin Barron's in there with the ones. That's Clark, PJ Locke. We got injuries in the secondary. That's Q. Take a look at Q. Q, ladies and gentlemen, take a look at Q. Q is so good with his hands, man. You got to be stout to deal with that, man. Good pick, Justin Barron. Make a play. Have a day. Have a day, Justin Barron. Let me get back to Q because this is Q. Bit of a coverage sack too. That's what we like. And I don't think that Matt Stafford could really step into this thing. He cannot. It's very small on the screen. I apologize for y'all. But he cannot step into this throw. That's a terrible decision any damn way. Shouts out to Justin Barron, ladies and gentlemen. Hell yeah, money well spent. Golly, can I get some more? Uh-oh, here's a pick. We got a pick here. Dak Prescott joins the pick club. He throws an interception on the pass to George Pickens. Would love to get some video of that. Then Calvin Watkins says Tyler Guyton getting his right arm looked at. Ay. I'm low. Check. All right, I'll turn it up. My bad. If I'm spiking now too loud, let me know, or you might have to turn your joint up. But we do have an injury update, unfortunately. That kind of sucks. So it looks like TG is. Damn, I'm trying to get more clarification on this, but Tyler Guyton is getting his right arm looked at, and he had a brace on the right arm. He had a bulky elbow coming in today. What the hell does that mean, Cal? Come on, big dog. You got to be a little bit more. He had a bulky elbow coming in, meaning he had a brace on his elbow? Yeah. Not good, Bob. Tyler Guyton been getting hurt every damn camp. Come on, TJ, you having a good day too. Patrick No C Walker says Julius Wood has made a couple of key plays, including a pass breakup on a slant from Stafford. I had a tweet. That's what I'm thinking too, Captain. It gotta be from a brace. All right, he's back in there. So TG did go out according to Vach. And he got his elbow wrap looked at. So we're just getting looked at. Got some tape applied. Okay, maybe that's what the bulkiness came from. So it was a wrap. And he's back to business. All right, TG. This is the thing. You're going to get hurt. One of the issues, or dinged up. One of the issues with TG early in his career has been the mental and physical toughness. That's just the fact of the matter. He has to show that he's mentally and physically tough to play through these things, and not only just play through it, but play well, because that is the game. That is a sport, right? So it's good to hear that. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. But there was a tweet. I want to find my tweet right quick. My profile right here. I said the Cowboys have legitimately invested in a free agent safety in Jalen Thompson, drafted a blue chip safety in Caleb Downs, have quality veterans in Malik Hooker and PJ Locke who are not being asked to be the guy. This part right here. Julius Woods having himself a camp. And he's a guy that, you like that tape coming out. You like this game in general out of ECU. And then Christian Parker is leading the entire group. For all those who are not new to this channel, know just how near and dear the position of safety is to me. The position I played, the position I believe gets so much disrespect. I think it's very important to have a quality safety play back there, but the Cowboys didn't care about that for the last 20 years. To see them go from what they were doing for 20 years to this makes me really emotional. But Julius Wood is really why I brought this up. I said this the other day. I don't know if it was on the Sky and 2i show or just in general or in the collective. I feel like he's having a better camp. I don't even feel like he definitely is having a better camp than a Marquise Bell. And I also think you look at his film coming out, he fits this system better than a Marquise Bell. He's more of a cover guy than a Marquise Bell was. And Marquise Bell's not having a great camp. You hope he steps it up at some point. But if it were up to me, bro, and Justin Barron pick got a second one. If it were up to me, appreciate you, Marquise Bell, but Julius Wood is earning this so far. Here's the other interception. I'll try to blow it up best I can from Justin Barron. What the hell is so Matt Stafford? He'll do this sometime, bro. Matt Stafford, like, what are you looking at, bro? Getting any pressure? Not really no pressure. Clean pocket. He just flat out missed him. Let me see if he expected. Man, this is good coverage too. I'm not going. Hey, I got to give this to Barron too. Follow the quarterback's eyes, right? He just locked in on his eyes. And he just completely missed Justin Barron. I want to look at this rush though, because see, this is where you want to see something from you. If you can't see this, you can go check this out on Dallas Cowboys YouTube page or Twitter page. Maris, this is just running down the middle of the tackle, and I feel like he could have did something too, because the tackle right there. Oh, I wish I could blow this up a little bit. If you can see the tackle's feet right now, bro, he is literally doing the heel click. He's wishing he can go home to Kansas. And Maris doesn't take advantage of that. He just gets a. Let's see. Toia Toia can't get no push. Toia's so big, but okay, got a little push. Okay, I got a little push. Let me take that back. Hold on. Let me see. That's a dub for the lineman. And is that the little dude from North Carolina? Oh, the Rams got him. And who's on the other side? That is just Houston with that damn spin, boy. If it's one thing James Houston gonna do, that spin. James Houston is going to spin. I tell you that. I tell you that. Oh, that's Stetson Benson. Apologies. I ain't want my bad, Matt Stafford. That wasn't you. That wasn't you. Could y'all see that though? I mean, I wasn't here in the chat. When I had that blown up like this, could you see it a little bit better and get what I'm talking about with this rush? Like for me, right here, a powerful being, a seasoned rusher is likely putting this tackle on his arse. But it didn't happen because his feet were compromised like a mug, bro. Facebook Marketplace Dwight Freeney spin is crazy. Y'all ain't ish for that one. All right, let's kind of see what's happening over here. It's starting to rain apparently. Here we go. All right, we're getting some more updates here. Savon Revel's having a great day. See, this is what I'm saying. This is what I wanted to hear. Matter of fact, he didn't get beat on the touchdown. I apologize. That was Devin Moore. But let's just read it. Savon Revel having a great day. Playing physical, forced a fumble. All right, that's new. And has had 2 big pass breakups on plays where the Rams were clearly testing him. One on a downfield ball to Nakua. Another on a fade near the 10-yard line to Nakua. Hasn't been perfect, but it's been his best day in SoCal. Okay, that part does add up to then what I'm thinking. So it hasn't been perfect. So maybe he's lost some reps or whatever, but are you bouncing back? And then are you making more plays than you're giving up? It sounds like Savon Revel is doing that. So outstanding. I wonder if when this is all said and done, will he be one of the winners of today's scrimmage? Because so far, it sounds like it. And here we go. Joe Hoyt. Rams tried a fade inside the 10, but Savon Revel one-on-one with Puka Nakua. Revel high pointed it and nearly picked it. You know what's awesome to hear? Savon Revel winning against a fade, because I don't think we run enough fades to George Pickens. He is one of the best jump ball dudes I've ever seen. And I get it's a low percentage throw in the red zone, but going to him is higher than any other percentage going to anybody else. I say that because Savon Revel's been getting head tapped by George Pickens on these fades. So I wonder if the Rams are like, hey, let's test the young man. He's been getting head tapped. We've been seeing it. Also, something that we saw on film last year, too. And it sounds like Savon Revel is not having it today. So you love to hear that for the young man. Love to hear it. Uh-oh.
Yeah, they squabbling out there now.
We about an hour and some change in. It's probably too late to say this now, but audio cool? Oh, my man said I was too low. Is the audio cool right now? Calvin Watkins said we've had 2 near fights today. The Cowboys offense versus the Rams defense. Fades Deron Bland's kryptonite. Brother, he ain't been great in the red zone the last 2 years. He got cooked, fried. Who routed him up last year? Was that Harrison Jr.? I mean, that was bad last year. Okay, cool. Bet. Josh Butler injury update. Looks like he took on a stinger getting looked at by the training staff, and he's back, no concern, says Nick Harris. Appreciate that. Thrasher said we ain't scared of the Rams. You know what's funny? A couple years ago, when the Rams were in the Super Bowls and getting to NFC Championship games, we was beating them. Going into the playoffs, that 2023 season, I talked about this on the channel. I said, honestly, I'm cool with seeing the Rams. The Rams were kind of on a roll. People were, I don't want to play Rams. I said, I'm cool with it. For whatever reason, Dan Quinn had Matt Stafford's number. He made life a living hell for Matt Stafford. So I was cool with them coming to town. You know, granted, you got a 7 seed young team in the Packers you should have beat too, but you also had a team to where they kind of had some intel on you because the coach coached underneath the defensive coordinator. With that said, though, and I get this is a new Rams team. It ain't a new Rams offense. It is the same Rams quarterback. Cowboys defenses usually play well. Now, that was a totally different Cowboys defense, bro. We in a different era of defense. So, yeah, I damn sure. Look, I get they got who they got on the other side of the ball. And I'm all for Aaron Donald coming back because as a football fan, I think that's cool as hell to see. I like to see greatness. I'm not one of those, the Patriots, the Chiefs are winning too much. I don't give a shit about that. I like to watch greatness if it's happening. If we ain't winning it, and greatness is happening, I'm going to marvel at it if it's really great, and I'm going to appreciate it because it doesn't come around often. But yeah, man, y'all know how I feel about that scare word. Nobody, no. I respect you, LA. But it's 15, 16 games, whatever it is, 14 games between the time you play us and the start of the season. A lot can change, bro. We're going to be 14, 15 games into this new defense going up against that offense, and then offense going up against that defense. So we will revisit. We will revisit. Unless it's Philly. No, I don't use that word greatness with them. Toxic, you've been here way too long. For those who are new, Philly. I'm gonna just leave it at that before I go on a tangent. I can't stand them. Let's see here. Let's see what we got going on. All right, we're still stuck here. So I wonder if Vach. Nope. All right, cool. Making sure Vach didn't call back in. When this thing is over, I hope he does call back in. I would love to know what is happening with the offensive line in this third session. Appreciate you, William Cook. He just dropped 10 in the chat.
Super chat.
He said, seems like the defense is doing much better than last year in this shared practice. More plays being made. 100% doing much better. If you go back and watch the Inside the Training Camp edition of me and Joe Hoyt's show, that was what we wanted to see, right? Last year, it didn't matter if it was vanilla. It didn't matter if it was chocolate. It didn't matter what they were doing. They couldn't stop that offense. They were looking incompetent, and that was kind of an omen into the season. Granted, likely vanilla now, but I don't give a damn. I told him, I said, look, I understand they're not going to be doing a lot of scheming, but there's still a lot you can take away. And right now, it seems like the defense is up for the challenge. Real rap, Jay. Don't bring that, bro. And then when I do break, and this is something for those who are new, during the season, we break down opposing offenses, opposing defenses. I pay respects to their strengths, but I also say, all right, where are their weaknesses and how we can attack that? Boy, new people be like, oh, Sky, you're talking about what they do good. You scared? No, sir. You're new. At the end of the day, whoever we're playing. But this channel isn't rah-rah, Skittles and rainbows. This is a football channel. We are going to break down every aspect of the game when we play these opponents. So I just wanted to kind of share that for those who may be new here. Some people be jumping in the middle of me breaking down their offense. You scared? Who's scared, man? Oh, here we go. Flow on the go. Oh boy, he just moving different, man. You want to talk about moving different? Flow is quite literally. Shouts out to Foots in a flow state. He's just so comfortable in his role, bro. We are no longer asking wide receiver 3 type talent to be wide receiver 2, or if wide receiver 1 goes down to be wide receiver 1. He got 1-ish ability. He has, I could be a top end 2 for my career ability, but he doesn't have an ego. So he understands and is very comfortable in his role as wide receiver 3. Do the dirty work. If I had to play special teams, I'll do that too. When my number is called, make a play. When my number is really called to be wide receiver 2 because of an injury, be a play maker. That's all I'm saying. We haven't had this type of wide receiver 3 in quite some time. Maybe you could argue Miles Austin, who eventually, did his thing and jumped up to wide receiver 1 for a little bit. And another thing I like, Flo talked about how this team has the 88s. Man, it's an 88 legacy. I want to create a 19 legacy. Oh, it's kind of hard. Miles Austin had his moments in the sun. Obviously, we know about Amari Cooper. Flow. That's good company. You know, if you can have that spurt. Now, we want more. We want more Coop. We want more Coop in regards to the productivity. But Austin had his moment in the sun now. He had his moment in the sun. Is Williams running today? That's a good question. I don't think I've heard much of Williams. All right, here we go. Pat O.C. Walker is back on defense. Quinnen with a sack on Matthew Stafford. To my count, that's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 horsemen. Sacks on the day for the Cowboys defense. Keeping in mind, I went to watch the offense for a bit, so there might be more. Night and day, bro. When all this is said and done and we get all the articles from all of our fantastic beat reporters down there, I'm pretty sure the headline of the day is going to be how this defense looks night and day versus this same Rams offense from last year to this year. And if last year was an omen, then damn it, so is this year. Big Flock asked about AD. He is not there. Neither is Myles Garrett. Brandy asks, as Dak got sacked? Probably. We haven't gotten that update. I would imagine he has been sacked at some point. It happens in these things. He asked on the pick, though. Pat said, Matthew Stafford has really struggled to figure out this coverage of Christian. Sorry, y'all. Just getting a little. Matthew Stafford has really struggled to figure out this coverage from Christian Parker. His good plays are outnumbered by pass breakups, errant throws, a couple of intentional throwaways. Pack it up. Hey, Vach, I'm about to call Vach. Tell him to pack it up. We ain't see no more. Over. The Cowboys defense has won this practice. I don't need to hear or see nothing else, man. At this exact time last year, we kept, oh man, the play action is killing them. Jimmy Garoppolo is chewing them. Kyron Williams untouched. Puka Nacua this. Devontae Adams that. Matthew Stafford has really struggled to figure out this coverage. That part is major. Because Christian Parker's background, his black belt, his superpower is coverage. We talked about making the quarterback hold the rock for an extra tick. What it sounds like Pat is saying is happening, man. Pack it up. The ship, we can play the music while the ship going down, but it's over. I don't need to see nothing else, man. We can rap, but I don't really need to see nothing else. Somebody said that's all I want to hear. Facts. To keep it a buck, respectfully, we're going to cover what's happening on the offense. Respectfully, because that's what we have to do. But when it comes to what the offense is doing in this screen,
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care. Let me tell you, we don't care.
I don't care. Respectfully. A little individual thing, guiding what's happening. Because, in totality, I know these boys are healthy with 4 out there, and those weapons will be fine. What the defense looking like, though? That is the more important thing here, in my opinion. Now, with that said, yes, you do want to hear the offense is doing good. You don't want to hear they're getting whooped out there. Somebody asked about Duzo. Oh, who? Welcome to 2026, man. He ain't here. Let's see. Cowboys No. Justin Barrett, have a damn day. Come on. Hey, he made it too. Nah, I don't want that button. What? Let me go look at something real quick. Cowboys linebacker Justin Barrett just had his 3rd interception of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, when you're fighting for a roster spot, this is how you make the roster. In a room that is thin, in a room that doesn't have a lot of depth, I haven't heard Shamar James' name. I'm not gonna overreact too much and just have him jump everybody. But as we talked about earlier in the show, you do need. I'd venture to guess they're probably going to have at least 5 of these dudes. 4 would be really short, but at least 5. And if we're talking about who the 5th guy is based off of these camp and this scrimmage, I mean, you're talking about Justin Barron quite literally jumping his way up the depth chart. So shouts out to him. And with that said, shouts out to my guy Joe Hoyt. That will wrap up the Cowboys-Rams joint practice. This is what he had to say. I focused my attention on the defense today. Thank you, Joe. And he says, I can say, how different things can look in a year. The new defense played well in a litmus test against Matthew Stafford and the Rams offense. That's all we wanted to hear, man. Joe will be back on the program on Friday, so we're going to get even more of a breakdown of today and the rest of the camp leading into Saturday's preseason game. So I can't wait to talk to Joe. If you guys have not been plugged into when he joins the show, I think he is one of the most unique beat reporters down there because he can be the journalist, he can be the analyst, he can take in a locker room, he can really articulate from a journalistic standpoint and a football standpoint what he's seeing is fantastic. He's a rising star, I think, on the beat. So he'll be back on the show Friday. I can't wait to talk to him about it. Let me see. I know Vach is probably going to be going live here shortly, but let's hit the board. Let's hit the board. I can tell you right now, those last 2 we giving check marks to. The energy on defense and how Caleb Downs deals with Sean McVay, it sounds like both of those things passed with flying colors. And honestly, based off of what Vach was saying, sounds like Guyton did his thing too. Now, he said it was some fights, and like not literal, but in regards to competition, and I'll take it. But my practice board has been filled. Wasn't the case the other day. Very interested to hear what Vach has to say about the O-line. He was over there most of the time. But the defense sound like they won this thing with flying colors. T-Jack said 2 in the possible. I'm guessing you mean the Guyton joint. I got to give it to him, though. I got to give it to him. Hey, Tom, appreciate you. He says, appreciate the live and the content, Sky. No doubt about it. I'm gonna give you guys this live stream Training Camp Central content as much as I can this camp while they're out there in Oxnard, and then we're going to move forward for the season as we prepare. But man, this was fun. Appreciate y'all for being here for this training camp live. As they gave us what they can give us from a video standpoint. So I'm not going to be too upset with that. But Vach joined in if you guys want to run that back and listen to what he was saying about the offensive line. Also, shouts out to all of the Oxnard camp beat who are down there giving us all the updates. They did all the work. I just try to give you guys what they were saying in my analysis. Nick Harris says some confidence from the Cowboys after practice. They're running through conditioning while the Rams. Hey, yo, I know this seems small to y'all, but hold on. They're running through conditioning while the Rams walk off, but the Cowboy players have some words for the Rams along the way. Said, go ahead and walk back. We'll see you down the fucking road. Hold on real quick, bro. Hold on. There's so much I love about that, bro. First of all, Shotty making these boys run after practice, I think is dope. I think it brings back some of that collegiate high school feel. Like, hey, man, y'all ain't too good to run. And it helps with conditioning. Tyler Guyton said the reason why they like it but don't like it is because it pushes you when you're tired. In that fourth quarter, you think about back to this aspect. But doing it and talking shit at the Rams crib, hey, we talk about culture. And if you ain't a Cowboy fan, go on, get up out of here. Y'all ain't gonna understand why we love this. We didn't have this mentality, man. Oh, just like anything, we got to be careful. We got to make sure everybody's healthy, and we got to make sure they're just like anything. It ain't small to me. It ain't small to me, man. These little things build the character and the culture of your team. You imagine walking off, bro? Walking off the practice field and they on your practice field, running and grunting and talking shit. I remember scrimmages where we got into it after the scrimmage because of stuff like that. Or you're walking back to the locker room if you hoop, right? And y'all got to go through the same area. I remember all of that. I love it. I love it. Donald said, I feel you, Donald. He dropped two in the chat and said,
Super chat.
Get your ass off the field. We will see you in December. Boy, listen. I refuse to act like that's not a big deal. Sorry. Refuse. Tommy Yaris, let's see what he got to say. The Cowboys joint practice just wrapped up against the Rams. We'll have some more thoughts and observations later. But he says the defense had a solid day, highlighted by 3 interceptions from Justin Barron. Offense struggled early. Dak Prescott closed with 4 touchdowns and red zone work. Now, I wasn't hearing about that, so that's interesting. So it looks like they started off slow and then got it together later. Cowboys doing their usual post-practice running. Look, it's just normal now. I love it. Which has led some trash talk between the Cowboys, Rams players cracking jokes about Dallas extra conditioning. Oh, so they making funnies about it. Put it on the bulletin. I'm dead serious, man. Put it on the bulletin board. We keying? Cool. Come the fourth quarter, when we playing y'all, and y'all huffing and puffing and something's going because we done ran down y'all throats with the run game and y'all tired and y'all, okay. What Larry Davis say? Okay. Cool. Thrasher said the Rams are the aggressor. Cool. Cool. And it's just practice, but hey, man, that's all we got right now is practice. We don't play off to December. You had your opportunity to go out there and have a reason to really key and he. You didn't. Hey, Ty says, Sky, they got me out here doing push-ups. Shouts out to you, man. Shouts out to you. Flacco said, we're Vach. Vach is down there right now. If I'm not mistaken, he might already be live. We're going to let everybody else get on here because I know a lot of people are likely about to be live. And I know y'all probably like, this has been the longest live, Sky. I'm about to be up out of here. Hold tight. We almost done here. I just want to make sure we don't miss any more updates. I tell you one thing, though. We have not seen any major injury situations come out of this practice. That in of itself is a major win as well. That is a major win. We don't want to walk away from this camp with a major injury. We already had one. We like to just keep it there. Buko says, just got here. What's good? How we looking? Well, I'll be as brief as possible, but it sounds like the defense had a day. Now, Tommy says, they's all right. That's what Tommy said. But you go listen to Joe, and let's go down here and read what he said right here. He said, the Cowboys and Rams joint practice just finished. I focused my attention on the defense, and I must say my how different things can look in a year. The new defense played well in its test against Matt Stafford and the Rams offense. That's all you need to know, man. Oh, we got some video footage coming out. Back shoulder fade in the end zone. See, why ain't nobody talking about this? Look, if they can get this down pat, even deadlier. Another respected analyst down there, beat reporter. Joint practice has concluded. Cowboys defense takes the day, and in my opinion, it wasn't close at all. Hey, Tommy, I'm gonna need you to take that energy and go somewhere, bro. Everybody else is saying the defense had a day. And then you got Tommy. Oh, the Cowboys practice just wrapped up, and the defense had a solid day, highlighted by 3 interceptions. Hey, Tommy, if you don't.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass.
Go ahead, bro. Everybody else talking about the defense had a day, and Tommy just trying to pour, man. Smoke, appreciate you, Smoke. He said that's this guy, the Dallas page showing all the clips. Glebo said, Tommy always like that, man. What is that about, bro? Let's go see if we got some more stuff on the Cowboys page. Yeah, we saw all these, though. We already saw all these ones, man. Now, I want to see the third one. I want to see the third pick by Justin Barron, to be honest. Tell Tommy. Come on, man. What are you doing, bro? All right, we're going to close this thing out talking to my guy, 100 grand. Then we're going to go. What's good with you, bro? How we feeling, man?
You know what? We ain't just talking trash at the end of practice. We talk trash during physical.
Like,
we ain't just talking, and that's what that's different. But we would talk trash after. Why you ain't do that in the midst of the practice? Why you ain't? That's when it matters. We did it in the midst of practice. I want to hear what Unc and Ocho and all them gonna have to say when this come out. When they find out we bullied them boys. We bullied them boys.
Totally different from last year, 100 grand.
Totally different from last. And it's not just one side of the football. Both sides of the football. Yeah, the offense started out slow. You can start out slow, but he scored 4 touchdowns. I saw Pickens knocking the cone over. Totally disrespect.
Hey, DeMarvion.
In their house.
Hold on, DeMarvion Overshown just said this to Patrick Nosey Walker. Let me pull this up, Cowboys Nation. He said this was a big difference from when they came to Oxnard last year and had a field day. Ladies and gentlemen, bro, it's no longer projection, I think, when it comes to just the night and day difference culturally, mentally, confidence-wise. It was all projection and hope, and that's all we had to live in. This is real now.
This is real. This is real. This is what we've been waiting to see. Yeah, practice is good when you practicing us. You went in the Rams' house. You put your foot on their couch. You went in their refrigerator. You took their snacks. You took their yak. You took the TV remote. And you damn near took their bit. You know what I'm saying?
Hold up, bro.
Trash while you were doing
What's up with y'all? Go call your mama. Call your mama.
Exactly. It dared them to do something about it.
Yeah,
and they didn't do nothing. The Rams got punked. So the only thing they could go to was, oh, your coach making you run after practice. If that's what the only thing you got to say.
Right. The coaches make you do football things after practice. Man, go on get. Go on get, man.
You just got washed all day. And that's all you got? You know what I mean? Come on, man. I'm excited. I'm excited. The big bad Rams, but you know what they're going to say? Aaron Donald wasn't there. You know, this person. But I don't care. I don't care. I think even if they was there, it wouldn't have mattered.
Again, I don't care about the offense, bro. I'm just keeping it a bean. I don't care about the offense. I'm not worried about the offense. I wanted to hear that the defense had a good day because, as we know, the defense got punched in the mouth last year with this. And I'm not saying this is the same defense.
Yes, they did.
Right? Obviously, it's a new defense. But I do think there are a couple of these players, and I don't see these coaches. All these coaches are gone. But there's a couple of these players and the head coach who was here that was a part of that thumping. That probably. And why do you think Shotty was over there at the beginning of practice? Why do you think Shotty was over there? He was here last year when it happened. So to hear this defense rose to the occasion and was competitive and actually won the day, come on, man. All that offense shit. Myles Garrett, Aaron Donald, cool. Yeah, at some point y'all going to get them back and that'll be a thing over there. And even with Aaron Donald and Myles Garrett, the Cowboys offense can still run with anybody, in my opinion. Can the defense give them more opportunities to have the chance to not just run with a team, but get the advantage throughout the evening or the day or whatever time they play? That's the big question. So that's why I was focused on the defense.
They showed and proved that they could. They had that boy seeing ghosts. He throwing the ball away. He don't know what to do. And that's just Christian Parker ain't throw the book. That's right what Christian Parker did today.
Apparently.
Can't wait to play the Giants. The Giants is happy that Daniel Jones finally decided to slide. Are you kidding?
You wild on it, Greg. You wild.
They are happy that he finally slid in practice. They jumping for joy because of that. We going murder the Giants week 1. Period.
I said this to somebody. Respects to the Giants making the moves and all this and getting a new coach and all. Bro, they done been through 2 or 3 coaches under this Dak Prescott era, and the Cowboys are 14-3 against them or something crazy. Like, come on, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Man.
Come on, man. For us to do this against the Rams, the so-called Super Bowl favorites, I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
Don't get it twisted. Yeah, they still.
We wasn't even expecting to get picks. Got picks today.
That's still a team. Right? I mean, but again, you wanted to see that defense respond from last year. And there are a couple of those guys. Justin Barron was here last year. DeMar Van Overshown literally told y'all just now. Yeah, man, night and day compared to last year. So it was a good practice, bro. Appreciate you calling in, $100 grand. Let me get a couple more calls before I get up out of here, bro.
All right, man.
Salute. 443, you are live.
How you doing, Skywalker?
I'm doing fantastic.
My name is Ro. I'm calling from Baltimore, man, and I just got 2 things to say real quick.
Be more in the building.
First, I wanted to ask you, who do you think, as far as like a defensive end, should we go for, Crosby or Von Miller? And my second thing is, I'm very unhappy with CD. And it's not like recent. It's been like for the last couple of years. Like he doesn't play like a true 88. If you ask me, like I can go back to like Michael Irvin, even like Drew Pearson for a minute. But Michael Irvin and Dez was the last one to rock 88. So for CD to not represent it like that, I'm really unhappy. But I'm having hope for him. Because to me, GP3 is the true 88. And I'll leave it at that. I'll sit back and hear what you got to say.
Hey, you still there? Hello? Okay, he's gone. Listen, I don't think he's necessarily wrong in regards to 88. Oh, you still here? Okay, let me pull you back in and we can talk real quick. In regards to the 88 mentality of the other guys, he definitely doesn't have Michael Irvin's mental. And did he hang up? Or yes, he did. He doesn't have Michael Irvin's mental, or even Dez Bryant for that matter. But I can't be disappointed with. Have you looked at his resume? Literally a Hall of Fame resume he's on right now. You know? But yeah, if you're looking to get the Dez type out of him, the Irvin type, nah, he ain't that. He ain't even want the 88. You know, that was a marketing thing by Jerry. He won number 10. But yeah, I feel like if you're talking about that mental, that is definitely more George Pickens. That's for sure. And that's why I think he's important to this team, because he yin-yangs Lamb. Lamb never came in like that. That wasn't who he was. Now he has, I think if you listen to people in the building, I believe he's on the leadership council. He has grown into a leader, but not that type though. Not the in your face, rah, hype on the sidelines. That's not who he is. GP though? GP represents that a lot more. I agree. I think he's more of the 88s from a mental standpoint than a CeeDee Lamb is, but that doesn't mean I'm disappointed, me personally, in who he is. I wish he would have stayed on the phone, because I would love to know, outside of that aspect, why is he disappointed? Because, brother, CeeDee Lamb he's on a Hall of Fame trajectory. You know what I'm saying? So I would love to know why you're disappointed in one of the best wide receivers in the National Football League. 99% of them have awards. CeeDee Lamb's no different. But you line it up, a lot of teams would love to have CeeDee Lamb. So I'm just curious on that part. And who would I want? On edge-wise, outside linebacker, between Max Crosby and Von Miller, I mean, it's easy, Max Crosby, right? I don't think that's dead. I think they're going to try their hardest to go get Max. In fact, I think they are openly pleading for Tom Brady to say, hey, come on, man. Y'all rebuilding. You don't need Max. So, yeah, Max, out of those two, Max Crosby for sure. But if they don't land a big fish, was what I think they're hunting, Von Miller. At one point, Joey Bosa was out. I don't know if he's still out there, but there's guys like that are still on the market. What's your thoughts on this CeeDee Lamb? He's not the only one. There's been a couple fans who just don't like. I hardly ever hear them talk about his play. They don't like CeeDee Lamb's personality. I guess that's all I can think about. But I wonder how y'all feel. Yeah, I'm disappointed with CD. He's the NY. Says Pete. Not everybody carries himself like that. I agree. CD is good. Everyone has bad days, and he's not even having bad. Like, it's not even him being bad, Virgil. I think that's why I wish he would have stayed on the phone. I think he just wants him to. He wants him to be Mike and be Dez and have that type of mental. And I just don't think he is that guy. We got one more caller coming in here. 626, you are live. What's up?
Hey, how you doing, brother?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. So I heard the last caller, and it's not that I agree with him, but I mean, like, just like you were saying right now, Dez Bryant, you got Michael Irvin. I mean, as far as play goes, I think Pickens is more of an 88, but as far as being a Cowboy, come on, CD's the man. He shows up and he does anything the Cowboys ask him. He stays out of trouble, except for their little incident in Vegas last year. So I'm all in on CD. And
that was more George Pickens, but yeah.
And as far as the tacos, I'm cool with the Cowboys not getting Max. I really want him to go after Brooks because we already see that our middle linebacker's hurt. The word that I keep on hearing from all the shows in Dallas is that middle linebacker position, at least Brian Broaddus was mentioning it, is not for Overshown. He needs to be playing an outside linebacker. So we need a middle linebacker just in case this rookie doesn't good. And then you got following him. You got a two-headed mark.
I'm still baffled at this Brooks thing. It makes no sense to me. I get people are explaining because they just signed him. Like, yeah. I get the explanation of, well, if we sign him, maybe it gives us as in Miami more value because the contract's done and things like that. But I don't understand why you would even sign him in the first damn place. I don't think any team is moving off of what they were originally going to give up because you signed him to an extension. That's your dumb ass fault. You shouldn't have signed him to an extension. Take this 4th round pick, 3rd round pick I was going to give, and let's move on. If not, why would I give up? If I'm just thinking, if teams didn't want to give up a 2, I'm not going to give up my 2. I'll go to somebody else and get a decent linebacker for a 3 or 4. I just don't know how that raises his value so much so that they're willing to move him now. That's just a shocker will be a shocker to sign him and then trade him the very next week. Just weird stuff to me.
It's not that much of a shocker because if you really look what Broad has said, like if the Cowboys traded for him right now, it would only cost them, I think, $1 million against the salary cap. You can actually do.
It's not a shocker to the Cowboys. Of course, dude. I don't care who gets signed. If the Cowboys can trade for an All-Pro, you trade for an All-Pro. I ain't talking about the Cowboys. Miami.
Right.
Why would Miami do that? Is what I'm trying to figure out. And I get what people are saying. I don't understand why the Dolphins would sign him, then trade him for what? You know what I'm saying? I don't understand that aspect of it. So
I totally get that aspect. Have you seen the roster? They're a last place team no matter with him or without him.
So why sign him? Is my point. That's what I'm saying. Why would you even sign him in the first damn place?
Well, maybe to entice other teams. Like, hey, look, we got this guy under. I mean, because I think it is a pretty. He's not the top paid middle linebacker in the league, is he? Where does he rank as far as salary goes?
His contract's not that crazy. So you know.
Yeah, there you go. That's the reason right there. That's to entice other teams to do it.
Brother, you could do that without that. If I was another team, let me handle the contract. I don't want you handle. Why are you handling the contract for me? I would trade for him, and then I will work the contract, just like the Cowboys have done. And I'm speaking of Cowboys terms. They've done in before.
I just think there's an offer out there that the Dolphins are willing to accept. I don't think that he's off the table like they said.
Well, there is no look. Everybody has a price. Shouts out to Ted DiBiase. Everybody has a price. Are the Cowboys going to give up a first or second round pick to get him? I don't know, brother.
No, I think they'll take a third.
Then they could have got a third without signing him. I don't think you follow me where I'm going, man. I don't think you follow me.
Who said that anybody offered him a third? We don't know what the offers were until now that he signed. But if we stick to what the Cowboys generally do, what they're really going to do is wait till all the cuts are made and they're going to pick somebody up off the street. That's what the Cowboys usually do.
I hear you. I don't want to keep talking in circles. I'm all for adding a guy. The Brooks thing is silly to me because it made sense before they signed him. It doesn't make sense for Miami to trade him now. It would be the weirdest thing ever for Miami to do. It was already weird to sign him in the first place. That's all I'm saying.
Just make sure that when the Cowboys do trade for him, that you come back on here and say, oops.
Oops about what?
Oops about wrong. That, hey, the Dolphins weren't willing to trade him.
Brother, I think you're so emotionally charged up into wanting to get him. You're completely not listening to anything I'm saying here.
No,
my guy, calm down. My boy is hyped up on something right now. Relax. Listen, fam.
I'm just telling you.
Calm down. Bring it down, fam. Bring it down. I'm all for this happening. I'm just literally telling you, it makes no sense to me for Miami to do it. Will I love for it to happen? Absolutely. But you trying to set up this I got your moment because you're so hyped up. I'm just saying, relax, brother. Relax.
Okay, and all I'm saying is that you said the key word. It makes no sense to you.
This is my show. This is called the Skywalker Unleashed show. I'm giving you my opinion. That's what you called in for.
To you, it makes no sense. But it may make sense to the Dolphins, and it may make even more sense to the Cowboys.
Well, I didn't say it didn't make sense for the Cowboys. Of course it makes sense for the Cow. My boy, you just talking in circles, man. Get your funky ass up out of here, bro. Let's get 6765 on the horn, man. What can we do for you, man? Good Lord, that boy hopped up on some coke or something, man. God damn. Go ahead, bro.
All right, Biscuit here.
What's up,
Indianapolis.
Biscuit?
I just want to say, if we turn down a chance to get Crosby, we're crazy. We had him. That's what everybody keeps forgetting. We had him. We just got outbid by the Ravens. They were sitting on that pick, on that trade for what, 2 days? 3 days? For a first and a second, we had him. So if we can go back and get that, and then you put Max Crosby, that line, with Quinn and Rashawn Gary, it'd be like we never lost Micah. It'd be like we never lost Micah.
We would double up,
It'd be
bro.
like the time we brought in Charles Haley. That is going to help the secondary so much, and it will solidify. I think we can hold it down at linebacker. I just don't see the sense, like you were saying, trading for Brooks when the Miami just extended him. I mean, to me that doesn't make sense. Making a trade for Max, bringing him in, restructuring him, that makes sense. As far as this CeeDee Lamb thing, come on, man. Just 3 years ago, he broke Michael Irvin's single-season record for the Cowboys. Yeah. Come on now. He's 88 ability all the way through. So, and we going on 5 straight years of 1,000 yards. CeeDee Lamb is that dude. So I just want to put that out there.
Yeah, I wish my guy didn't
I've
hang up.
I've been a Cowboys fan now for 52 years. I'm an OG.
Shout out to you.
Yeah, it was good to hear that the Cowboys got out there and put belt to ass today to the Rams. I love to hear that. I've been at work all day, so I've just been getting little bits and pieces. I appreciate letting me come on. This is my first time ever listening to it. I thought I'd come on here.
Really? Usually first time listeners.
Like I've never heard of. Yeah, I just ain't never been on your show before.
Well, usually first time listeners don't call in, but hey, appreciate you calling in, man. Thank you for the call.
Hey, I got to, man. When we come to people talking crazy about my Cowboys, I can't do that.
I hear you.
I defend the star. I defend the star.
I feel that. We got to. It's been 30 years, and we got to defend this thing, man, until we get over the hump. Appreciate the call, though. Somebody said, I don't have patience. Somebody said, you got more patience than I do. For those that have been with me since like 2020, 2021, y'all know I've been working at that. I've been working on my patience. I really don't have a lot of patience. I've been way worse, trust and believe me. But yeah, I tried it. All right, let's get a couple more callers up here. You know what? We're gonna rock out. I got time. I don't remember. We got a little time. Here. We got a 717 in the building, man. That's my area. What's up, 717?
Hey, what's going on, my brother?
How you doing?
Hey, listen, this is the first time that I've actually got through on one of your shows. But listen, I just want to give a shout out to that Sky and 2 Eye thing that y'all do. That is fire, brother. That is fire. I love it. I absolutely love it. But listen, I wanted to get to the thing where, and I'm not going to repeat all of that stuff that guy was saying about the whole trade. I think that something had something to do with, when you sign the guy, it increases his trade value or something like that. And I didn't look at all the details.
That's
of
what
but
that seems to be the explanation.
Yeah. But see, I tell you what, Sky, I think that this is probably the first year that if Cowboy fans say we like our guys, it's true. I just get that. I get that feeling. Like, do you know what I'm saying, man? Like in previous seasons, we've gone with this, hey, we like our guys, and then they get out there and they just get, kicked around. But that doesn't feel like that this year, man, and I don't know why. I think that when I look, especially up front, when I look at what we have done up front, I have not seen that much power up front with these Cowboys in a long time. I've been a Cowboy fan since 1976, brother, okay? And this is what I'm saying. So I follow this team. And so when I look at what we've done up front, and then I think about our edge rushers, I'm saying to myself, I think people might be underestimating these guys. I don't know, man. Tell me what's your thoughts, brother?
When you have one of the best interior defensive line duos in the National Football League, some would argue the best, you'd be a fool, I think, to underestimate them. And in my opinion, when you go, not just those two, I think with Bullard and Otito, the defense attack room in general is the best I've seen in the last 3 decades since this drought for the Cowboys. Period.
Yes.
I don't even think it's close in regards to 1 to 4. And look, I get it. Tito and Bullard are not household names, but from a scheme fit, from a veteran, think about this for a second. When the Cowboys were in the Dan Quinn era and even before them, they hardly had a quality group of 4 who've been in this league, who have proven to either be elite, damn near elite, or really damn good at what they're asked to do, and that's Tito and Bullard. Stop the run, be stout, play gap and a half. They do that among the best for a rotational type of defensive tackle, right? And then you go Rashawn Gary in the run game, and he's showing you, that he can also get after it as a passer so far in camp. We'll see what happens on the other side with Malachi Lawrence and Donovan Izaraku. But yeah, if you underestimate this front, or you go into a game in your offensive line and you try to take it easy, it's a physical group, bro. They'll put you on your ass. So I agree.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I wanted to get at, man. But listen, brother, I love your show. I follow you. I watch all your content. This is another one. This is another one for the record books, brother. I love it. But keep doing your thing, my man.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, man. Hey, listen, it is, and I don't want that to go under the radar right there. You guys have definitely helped break a record for this channel, man. So shouts out to y'all, the Bomb Squad.
Bomb Squad!
We had 2,400 live concurrent viewers on the channel during the practice, which wasn't even video footage. So y'all just tuned in to kick it, chop it up. Man, look, I always put my head down, get to work, but that is not something that's light to me. I appreciate every single last one of y'all. Truly huge. Thank you so much. That's why I'm letting the phones rock. You guys sat here and listened to me yap for 2 hours. So I'm going to listen to you guys, and we're going to rap about whatever it is that's on your mind, Cowboys Nation. So let's go. And the phone lines are lit. I don't know if we're going to get to them all, but we're going to try. A lot of these numbers I'm not familiar with. 254, you are live. 254, you live.
Hey, I got a question. So, with the whole Quentin extension and everything, and cap space, and them, talking about Jerry making a move, do you think this is what he wanted to see to kind of give him that last,
that's a good question,
joke to go make a move to see if the defense was worth making a move, or that's just a thought I have. That's one of your opinion on that.
No, that's a good question. I will say I don't think he needed to see this, because the way they were speaking. What's your name, bro?
Oh, Jay.
The way they were speaking, Jay, it sounded like they were already convinced that, look, we're good enough that we are looking for a hump player. Now, hey man, they kind of move with the wind. So I can see them being like, oh, you know what? We look good out here. Let me go really get on the horns. I don't think that's unfathomable. Like, they can definitely go do it. But I think they were already sold that, man, this new coordinator we done brought in so many new pieces. This is not the defense. It's like a 90% turnover from last year. I think they are very confident in this group that they already said they will go out. Remember, I wrote down these are the words that Jerry and Steven said. Make a major move, bring in firepower, a playmaker, special. And I can't read my handwriting on the last one. But they are looking to get a dude. They are not looking to just get a jag. They may end up with a jag. They may. But it sounds like they're looking to go out and get a dude. And I don't think they needed to see this. But damn it, I don't know how this doesn't make you want to go do it even more. Vosh live?
Yeah.
All right. If my bro live, man, I ain't trying to step on bro's toes. So we're going to get a couple more up in here. Then we're going to raid Vosh's channel. All right. Appreciate the call, man.
Yes, sir.
Let me get Los up in here. What's good with you, Los?
Yo, what's happening, Scott, man? Hope you're having a great afternoon, man.
I'm having a wonderful afternoon.
My call quick, man.
Okay.
So real quick, man. CP got an eye. CP Christian Parker, man, he got an eye. That's different out here in Cowboys land. It's all eyes on me, He's like, dang, man, can I not have like my scheme put out there in the world? But it is what it is, man. When you're coaching this team, you got to know, like, there's fandoms of everywhere, any kind. So I think CP's realizing, like, all right, I know what I got to do schematically to make this team win, but I know I got to hide my sleeve up a little bit with all this media attention. But
hey,
I love how he's setting up all the pieces, though.
Hey, Los, take a look at this, man. Cowboys Nation. So according to Brian Schottenheimer, the Cowboys players decided to decided to do the post-practice conditioning test on their own. Dak Prescott and DeMarvion Overshown were the catalyst to get it started. Man, look, Shoddy, I talk about different cultures, right? There's the organizational culture, there's the locker room culture. Shadi is 100% improving that locker room culture, and that is a testament right there.
Yeah.
I
mean,
thought Los was on.
No, I agree. I totally agree with you, Sky. I mean, when we let's not take it for granted. When they first hired Shotty, we cannot lie. We all doubted, like, all right, we don't know who Shotty's about. I mean, it was in the top candidate head coach, but man, Shotty put in the work for us to be like, all right, it's your boat. You know, you have the boat on your hands, and we trust you. You know, I think this is the best feeling I had of a Cowboys team to, you know, reach their potential, because, you know, like you said, Scott, what we always had is great teams and good teams, but we never had someone to hold this team accountable for nothing. You know, we're talking about the most flags, most penalties during errors when they're not supposed to be committed, you know, and defensive missing assignments. I mean, you name it, Sky. But when this team is up and running and built right, man, you'll see a difference. And my last point is this, Sky, and it ties to what I was saying earlier. It's great. Having great players is great. You know, you can have good players, okay players, mediocre players, but can you bring the best out of the players that you have? Mm-hmm. And I think CP and Shotty does that to the T. And that's all I got, Sky. I mean, if everything that comes together, there's no reason why Cowboys shouldn't be considered a true contender. But yeah, you have many blessings. Sure. You have a great afternoon, man.
Appreciate you, Los. I tell you what I'm most excited about. And now this is more of a long-term thing. I'm definitely excited about 26. But the way they're building this feels sustainable. And this is beyond this practice, y'all. Now we be talking, right? People calling in things. This goes back to the offseason. They're building something sustainable. And I would hate to kind of dive into the deep dives we've done in the offseason in regards to philosophy in the years past and all the coordinators. There are a lot of new people here. But the Cowboys, with the 4 straight defensive coordinators, right? 3, if you don't want to count this one, but 3 straight defensive coordinators prior to this, all 3 different philosophies. The Joneses, pretty much their hands in everything. And that may not change, but it seems like they let up a little bit with Shotty allowing him to pick his defensive coordinator. And I don't think this defensive coordinator comes to Dallas because he ain't a guy looking to, oh, you know what, I got to get my name back up because I'm a failed head coach or a failed coordinator and I'm just taking whatever and going to do whatever. I highly doubt Christian Parker got here and said, I'm just going to fall in line. Not that I'm going to be disobey you or, you know, I hate to use the word obey. I don't want to use that word. Not be a good worker, but we're going to run my defense. I'm going to bring in my guys. This is what we're doing, how we're doing it. And we got a totally different philosophy from what you guys have been used to for the last, 20 years. I've been running this. I don't want to say 20 years, 15 or so years. The coaches they've hired, the philosophy they're running, the way they sign and draft from guys. This stuff is sustainable if they continue to stack on that. Now, again, this is a future thing we're looking at, right? This is a year-over-year thing. If we're just speaking of this year, yeah, this team, as Lowe said and as McFadden said, if everything goes the right way, yeah, this is a contender. And as long as the damn defense ain't what it was last year, they're a contender. But y'all know how I feel. The how is very important. I've seen 12-5 teams that you get to the end of the season, you're like, we 12-5, but it really weird. When you do XYZ, you played against this team and they did really weird. So how are we playing? You don't need to be 12-5 to be a problem in the postseason. All right, I see y'all arguing with Martise. Yes, that's Martise. Martise be on y'all head, man. 970, you are live. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Scott, how are you doing?
I'm good, man.
Yeah, I just had a question. You're talking about the future and the mentality that's different with the Cowboys.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask your opinion. Do you think that this year is different? I've heard a lot of people say it is. And if so, why? And if not, why?
Yeah, I think and this is something that we've been talking about. We talked about earlier today and throughout the offseason. There are things that are different, right? The hiring a young coordinator, signing a guy like Jalen Thompson, and the safety situation in general, trading away Osa, like those things are very different than what we've been used to seeing. Changing the philosophy. There are some things that have been the same, like signing a lot of one-year bargain deals as well. That's pretty normal. Getting some extensions done in camp. That's something they literally did 3 times last year. So I think there is a middle ground. They're not doing something that is just this, oh my God, I can't believe it type thing to me. But they're also not just going with the norm, the status quo of the last 15 years. They've clearly done some things differently. And I think you do have to acknowledge that.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, guy. Love your show.
Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate you. All right, let's get some more up in here. You know what? I'm gonna get through all
The conference has been
locked. I ain't gonna do that to y'all. We're gonna get through everybody. All right, 903. You are live.
Can you hear me?
You got you loud and clear.
Okay, Alexander, man. Good to talk to you. I love your show, man.
Thank you, sir.
I really love the documentaries you do. Very professionally put together.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I've been a Cowboy fan since they created the Ring of Honor. I remember when Staubach retired. I remember when Dorsett was traded, went to the Broncos. So I was old enough to sit and watch through all of the 90s, the dynasty. I remember when Jackie Sherrill dropped the pass in the end zone with the Steelers. So I've been around a while, man, and I will tell you this: I have a quiet, strong, like a volcano eruptive type good feeling about this team this year. And that's not me bloviating. This team, it's got a real chance, man, to do something special. And I actually feel like they're going to. So to answer the young man's question about what's different, there's a lot of things different, man. There's just the quiet off season, the construction of the team, inside out on both sides. Just Jerry being quiet.
Yeah, that's definitely.
It's a lot. It's a lot, man. There's a lot. I'm the type of dude I don't want to do a lot of talking. I just want to let actions show. Like and for you to say or report that after this scrimmage they out there running wind sprints and the coaches didn't put them up to it, man. That right there, that says it all right there, man. That says it all right there. These are millionaires. Well, not all of them, but they're pretty well off, man. Out there running when they don't have to run. Come on, man. Come on.
Yeah, that is, again, that's part of that. We kind of chuckle at the culture thing because this team is the real culture is the leadership. I think that's outside the locker room, but there is a real locker room culture, and I think it is improving under Shoddy 100%, and that's part of it right there.
Yeah. And I was a cat that was in the chat that was saying, Flo was talking about the 19 club.
Uh-huh.
I was trying to get your attention to tell you that you forgot Keyshawn in there because Keyshawn kicked it off. Somebody else put in Lance Rinser, but you had Keyshawn, then you had Miles Austin, and then you had
I'd say this.
Amari Cooper.
Yeah, I guess we gotta go. Was Coop 19 over there? Yeah, I think he was 19 with the Raiders.
Coop was 19.
With the Raiders, I'm talking about. I couldn't remember what number he was with the Raiders.
Yeah,
but
was he 19? Was he 19 with us too?
He was 19 with us for sure. I don't know if it was. I can't remember with the Raiders. God damn, he was still playing.
Yeah.
But yeah, Keyshawn definitely. I mean, Keyshawn was all right. We got Keyshawn.
Yeah, but come on, stages. Man. Keyshawn held it down, bro.
He's all right. Yeah, I'm not mad at Keyshawn staying here at all. It was right around the Bill Parcells era. But I totally get it. Fine.
Yeah. All right, brother. Let me ask you one last question. The documentaries, the the one last question: the documentaries that you put together, how can you locate them on, to distinguish them from the rest of your videos? Because I like to go back and watch those.
Thank you,
They're
brother.
well put together, man.
Thank you. What I'll do, just because you said that, is I'll create a playlist and I'll add I'll just put documentaries, short docs, whatever, and I'll put them in there so that people can easily find them.
Yeah, because they're professionally made, man. Very professionally made.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Appreciate
All
it.
right,
Man.
we'll
Good
talk
call.
to you later, man.
So this was my point right here. Coop was 89 in Oakland. The reason why I say that is he made 19 here. 19, right? Miles Austin went from he had a weird number. I think he had 14 at one point and then 19. Same thing with Flo. Flo was 18, I think, at one point, then 19. Keyshawn brought 19 over. Keyshawn was already 19. But so that's my only thing. And shouts out to Keyshawn. He was cool. He was cool. So shouts out to Steve. Said, hey, Sky. So Voss just basically recapped everything he told you when he called you. So, all right, man. Shouts out to Vach. And then, look, there's going to be more. He did a quick recap. I imagine he went back to the crib. He's going to sit down. He's going to talk a little more. I want to do this play of the day, but this was yesterday's play of the day or the other day. But I might save it for next time. Let's talk some more here. 469, what's up?
What's going on, Steve? How you doing?
I'm all right, brother. How are you?
I'm good. Great show. And you got your own wave, and that's what's up.
Thank you, man.
But I want to talk about the Max Crosby. Everybody's saying Max Crosby. It just don't make sense for the Cowboys to go out and get him because it's either Max Crosby or George Pickens. Who do y'all want? Because it's impossible to pay both, especially when he got a cap hit for $30 million for the next 2 years.
Are you talking about keeping both long term? Is it possible to do both long term? Yeah, it probably feels that way.
You would have to if you're giving up a number one pick or just for a year for a rental.
Well, he wouldn't be a rental. He got 3 or 4 years left on his deal, something like that. You're basically saying after 2026, we say goodbye to George Pickens. So in your situation, are you willing to push all the chips in for 2026 with George Pickens here?
Yeah, I would. So let's play GM. What would you do right now if you the GM?
Oh, I'm calling Vegas every day, But no, I'm not going to.
Are you getting?
Go ahead.
I'm listening.
I'm not going to let them fleece me or nothing like that. But I look for the first, and look, y'all know I do not like to be aligned with no damn Steven or Jerry, but I'm aligned with them here. I'm trying to be aggressive. I'm trying to get over the hump, man. I'm tired of waiting around. I don't got that many campaigns if I'm Jerry at 80-some years old. Now Dak, you can extend Dak, but currently as we speak, we're in this weird window where, it's only 2 or 3 years. So go for the gusto, man. I've been saying this for years, brother. I don't know how long you've been watching, but I've been go for the gusto type for years. So, and maybe it's not Max. I'm a big fan of Alex Highsmith, so I'm picking up that phone. Josh Sweat, I have underneath those guys, but he would also be a fantastic addition. So I'm just looking to add, if you want to go linebacker, that's cool too. But I'm looking to add, as Jerry said, a playmaker, bro.
Thanks. I think that if it's up to me, I think that we should get a cornerback just because the Ron Bland issue, and you don't know which the Ron Bland you getting. Rebel's still young, we're training, but we don't know full, huh?
That's fair. My rebuttal would be how many Crosby, Highsmith, Sweat types are available at corner. I can't tell you. I don't know, honestly. I know those guys are quasi available. I don't know about the other guy. I don't know. So now it's who's worth the first round pick at corner that's willing to be gone? I would have to do some research. I'd have to go, spy on other organizations and contract. I just don't know. But corner, look, if you go get a true number one corner, hell yeah, I would, probably ship out DB if he's not, you don't trust his feet, which I don't. Yeah.
Absolutely. And my next question is, so let's say that you do get Max Crosby. So you willing to keep Max Crosby for the next 3-4 years or whatnot, ship George Pickens off, and make Ryan Fennoy the number 2 receiver. Be cool with that.
If that is the only alternative you're giving me, you have to give me if that's what we're predicting. What is our outcome then this year? Because you're predicting everything else, so you might as well predict the outcome. Give me the outcome, and I'll tell you.
The outcome in Super Bowl or bust. If you're gonna go all in and get Max Crosby with George Pickens, it's impossible to really keep both.
No.
Unless you do a lot of restructured contracts.
Okay, so tell me though, what is the outcome of the season? Because you're telling me, well, if we get Max Crosby, that means we can't get George Pickens. That means Flo is the second. So how did we do this year?
If you get Max Crosby, you ask me how are we gonna do this year? If we get Max Crosby with George Pickens,
yes, sir.
You won't have to go all the way with it. You're gonna go all in. That's all in move. Same like the Rams did when they got Von Miller and kept Aaron Donald, got Jalen Ramsey. They went all in and won.
Right. I think you're misunderstanding what I'm asking you, brother. I'm telling you, give me the result.
Give you the result?
Yes, sir.
If we get Max Crosby, my result is only Super Bowl winning. That's my result. It have to be. I don't see no other way around it.
So you're telling me if the Cowboys acquire Max Crosby, we win the Super Bowl and we move on from George Pickens? Yes. That is an easy yes to me, brother. I don't give a good goddamn what happens after this season with George Pickens if we win the Super Bowl this year. Kidding me? I done waited 30 years. I'm not about to play roster gymnastics with cap and favoritism and all that. Push the chips in. You telling me we push it in, and Max is the hump player, and that helps us win the Super Bowl, fam? I don't care about no George Pickens next year if he moves. Cool.
Now
we got
watch
the ring.
this, though. Now watch this. Name an all-pro defensive end that's been in the Super Bowl and won.
Brother, you're jumping around. You're jumping around.
Question, though. I want to know, though.
You're jumping around. You originally asked me, would I be willing to give up all of that for Max Crosby, right? And since you are stating this is what's happening, I said, well, tell me what happens at the end of the season. And you said we win the Super Bowl. So now all of a sudden it's telling me about a guy who. So where are we going here? If you don't want Max Crosby, that's cool. I'm not saying we got to get Max Crosby, but you just asked me the question. And I just wanted to know what the result was, brother. And you said win the Super Bowl. You mean to tell me you wouldn't make that move?
Absolutely, I'll make that move. That's why I asked the other question. Name an all-pro that have went to the Super Bowl or won Super Bowl that's all-pro defensive end. You can't really name one in like 10 years.
Oh, I'm about to say like ever?
That win Super Bowls. No, about 10 years. It's really the defensive tackle play, the trenches.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Sure. What's your point, though? I'm not disagreeing that those numbers are wrong or anything.
My point is basically what I'm saying is sometimes the defensive end is not the main piece to win what we think that we're trying to win, which is the Super Bowl. It's always the trenches and, of course, like the missing pieces that you need for your defense to keep it stable. It's not always defensive end play.
Sure.
And Seattle's the perfect reason, what I'm saying. With D-Law. D-Law was just a missing piece, rotational piece.
Fine, and you can get us a D-Law. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not arguing with you that you need a defensive end or you need a George Pickens to win the Super Bowl or anything like that. But I'm sure everyone would love to have an all-pro like that in Max Crosby on your team with this defense. If not, cool. I mean, that still does not detract from the fact that you are light from a depth department on the edge room. You are light from a depth department, and some might even say starter department, depending on who you're talking to. At the linebacker room, I don't know if it was you or somebody else, brought up the cornerbacks. Do you trust them? Do you not trust them? My whole point is, give me a playmaker at one of those positions. I think it helps the Cowboys get to the Super Bowl. I'm not going to diminish edge. I'm sorry, brother. I'm just not going to be that guy that diminishes that. Because if you look at the other aspects of those teams, they were very elite somewhere else. It's hard to argue the Cowboys are elite outside of defensive tackle right now if we're keeping it a bean. So who are we to be beggars? when you don't have any, I mean, let's be honest, we ain't even got to say elite. we aren't even proven to be above average anywhere else just yet. We have outside of defensive tackle. So we got to kind of, we got to see it. We're excited about the potential and things like that. But I can tell you go out and get me a Max or a Highsmith or a whomever at linebacker or corner, then, now we are definitely well above average at those spots.
Absolutely. And what do you think Highsmith is worth right now, like as in his yearly salary? Is it as much as Max Crosby or is it way cheaper?
It's cheaper. I think it's $20 million per, I think. And he got like 2 years left. Yeah, I think he has 2 years left.
That sounds more reasonable. That sounds more reasonable to do and keep George Pickens as well, to backdoor and get two if it happens. But I do appreciate it, though. Good show, bro. Real talk.
Salute, man. I don't even know if, honestly, what are we doing? I don't even know if they keep George Pickens. No, not you, bro. I was pressing some buttons. I don't even know if they keep George Pickens, period. I'm trying to tell you. I am still very much of the belief, right now as we speak, August 11th, they'll franchise tag him again. Right now, that's how I feel. I'm not the way they're moving and sound. It doesn't sound like. Now, granted, Steven yesterday said, "Oh well, the goal. That's the goal." And Jerry said at the press conference, "Wouldn't it be awesome if George Pickens hit free agency after an amazing year?" Whoa, he's never said that about any other dude he had intentions on keeping here long term. Now that doesn't mean he won't do it, but I don't think you adding a playmaker has any effect on the George Pickens situation. I think their minds are kind of made up at this point. That's the way it's sounding. Their minds seem made up. Shit, go get me Max Crosby. We are talking about win the Super Bowl. 443. Then we got two more. We up out of here.
Skywalker, how you doing? This is Roy again from Baltimore. I was calling you back because I heard you was asking if I was still on the line. I was on the line, then I muted, then we got disconnected. So I was calling you back.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So the reason why what I wanted to know was this was the 88 situation, right? You were talking about the 88s and George Pickens. Or I'm sorry, and CD.
Yes, right.
So what I wanted to know was, outside of him not having like the personality of the Dez, the Pearsons, the Mike, do you not like his game? Because that's what I was curious about.
No, I do. Trust me, I really enjoyed CD when he first came into the league, right? But
no, I mean right now, the 5-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro, 6 straight 1,000 yards, Hall of Fame resume, like right now, not when he first came in.
I got all that. I like him. I mean, I like him because he's a Cowboy. What I don't like is his drops in crucial moments. It's like if you go back last year, just last year alone, that game against the Eagles, the first game, he dropped that crucial pass. And I think it was like late on in the season, he dropped a couple of touchdowns in the end zone, like easy. So it's just little things like that. Well, it's not.
So he's not allowed to have any. He's not allowed to have any drops.
Oh no! He's absolutely allowed that, bro. I'm just saying. Yeah. I'm talking about like at crucial points, crucial times, like if it's 3rd down or 4th down, and we trying to move the ball to like get in field goal range or whatever.
So you believe he just hasn't been he hasn't been a clutch player during his time in Dallas?
No.
Okay.
For the most part, no. I mean, if you go back to that Green Bay game, he looked terrible when Mike McCarthy had to poke him on the sideline.
Oh, 100%.
That was a bad look.
The whole team was just off. I'm not going to hold that game against anybody and use that for their whole entire career, though. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that either. CD is a great wide receiver. I'm just saying I would just like to see him do more in more crucial times. That's all.
I just because when you first called in, you said what were the words what was the word you used with him? I don't want to misquote you.
Disappointed.
You're upset with him or something like that. Like you were disappointed in CD, and then you started to talk. And you said you're unhappy with CD, and you started to talk about because he wasn't in the same light of a Michael Irvin and Dez Bryant. And it was like the whole personality. So I wasn't sure if you didn't like his game in general, because I feel like he's one of the best receivers in the National Football League. So.
I mean, I like him as a player. I just want him to have more of that tenacity, if that makes sense.
Okay. That makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? And then the other question I had presented to you was about, you think we should go for Max?
Yeah, I answered that one. Yeah, I answered that one already. Bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, yo, bro, you keep doing your thing. All right. Stay safe out there.
Thank you, bro. You too. All right, we got some clarification. Kind of similar to what we were originally saying. It's more of the, again, Des Bryant tenacity, Michael Irvin. Yeah, that ain't him. But from a game standpoint, again, he ain't not a perfect player. You know, his drops, he got to fix the drops. I don't think he's the only receiver in the league who drops some passes. But boy, hard to be unhappy with CD Lamb, man. Whew. Hard to be unhappy with that guy. Very happy to have a CD Lamb. 352, you are live.
What's going on, Mr. Steele? Appreciate the content, man. You're doing a great job, bro.
Thank you, brother.
I got a question for you. Do you think this whole time we've been looking at the wrong tackle for who we may need to replace? And it might be your uncle, Terrence.
My uncle. No, that ain't uncle. We call him Cuzzo. I don't know. See, this is the funny thing. Who are you listening to that states that we're trying to replace Guyton in first and then Terrence? Because the world been trying to replace Terrence for 3 years, good brother.
This offseason, everything has been Tyler Guyton, and still has been under the radar this offseason.
Boy,
now the past 2 years,
you must be
been all about Steele.
You must have a fantastic filtration on your Twitter or your social medias. I have not come across not a near Cowboy fan. Well, I'm lying. There are some Cowboy fans that are fine that have not put Steele under the limelight, and they want him completely off the team. Period, brother. So the reason why Tyler Guyton is going to get talked about is because Tyler Guyton is your first round pick and you're looking for him to be your stalwart for 10 years. Terrence Steele is a ticking time bomb of looking to replace him at some point, either if not next year, the next. He's not going to be here for long. So the reason why people are talking about Tyler Guyton is because you expect Tyler Guyton to be here for 10 years. And if he's not, holy shit, we got 2 tackles that we have to now replace. Terrence is a foregone conclusion that we're going to replace him at some point. But the Cowboys haven't brought in anybody to do it.
I just believe that if we're looking for more of a what does Shotty call it? Competition, right? We need to be more competitive at right tackle more so than left tackle. Because personally, other than injuries, I don't really see that big of a problem with Guyton. I see more of a problem with Steele than anything, especially in training camp. You know, he's been getting dogged.
You're literally mimicking how the entire nation has felt. That's literally what the entire nation has been saying, where Terrence Steele is the weakest link. Terrence Steele is the weakest link. So I don't think he's gone under the radar. I think it's a foregone conclusion that Terrence Steele is who he is. Here's the problem. You mentioned competition. Brother, there is no backup. I don't know how long you've been listening to the channel. Who on this roster can replace either of these dudes? Nobody. They're worse than Terrence Steele.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what I was getting to is, do you think there's someone out there that we could possibly sign either as a free agent or get for low draft capital that'll be a better option than what we have right now?
Can't say low draft capital. No team is giving up a quality starting tackle for low draft capital, number one. So you'd have to spend high draft capital.
When I say low, I mean 4th or 5th round. You know what I mean?
No team is giving up a quality starting tackle for a 4th or 5th rounder, brother. Let's be real. Taylor Decker is out there. I don't know his situation. I don't know. I didn't study Taylor Decker last year. I don't know if how good he was. I don't know if he's 1 foot out the door, retired. I have no idea. But that's the best name on the market to me.
Right. Well, I appreciate your time, brother. I don't hold you too long. I know you've been out here all day, so thank you for the content, brother, and appreciate you.
Thank you, man. I mean, that's right? Like, I feel like the whole nation is pretty much in agreement that Terrence is it one of those things where we know So why waste our time in a sense? And the reason why the spotlight's on, in my opinion, I'll speak for me. The spotlight's on Tyler Guyton because it's 1, left tackle. 2, first round pick that we hope to be our guy for 10 years. And they want him to play better. And look, we can act like there weren't issues when you say, oh, it's just health. No, brother, it was not just health. There was not just health. There was things he had to improve from a playing standpoint, from a mental standpoint, physical standpoint, toughness standpoint. There were issues and consistency, all of that. And coach is not wrong in saying, hey, bro, let's go, right? We ain't bring you in here to just be average to below average. We need you to be really damn good. We could deal with an average, below average right tackle if the rest of our line is fine. But don't get it twisted. They are looking for a brother's replacement. They just can't seem to fall in line with one. They can't do it right now. I'm just saying. 346, you are live.
Hey, Sky, what's going on, brother?
What's up, man?
Hey, man. This real rare talk. I called in a couple times. You know, I'll be in the chat, bro. I'm glad I won in the last calling, bro. It's time to regulate this, man. I don't know what's going on with the nation today, but hey, Scott, they can have, if we win the Super Bowl, they can have George Pickens, they can have Kobe Durant, they can have DeMario Overshine. Listen, they can have everybody that's not on contract next year, bro.
Yeah.
I don't care. Flo, all of them. I don't care. Get one, man. I don't know what's going on with these callers, bro. It's about winning one. I don't care about 3, 4, 5, none of that, man. It's been too long. Now, I mean, in a day like this where the defense done stepped up, I think we done got off track somehow, somewhere. Hey, man, I love what I'm hearing. I love what I'm seeing. Come on, man. Come on, nation. I get it, man. I get it, man. We've been in that state of mind for a long time, man. But you know what I mean? They showing us something different. They showing us something different, man. And it's time for us to really see it, man, and get on board with it. Man, 4 picks in a practice, it ain't like it's a star. It ain't like it was somebody that, you know, we expected from. Like, come on, man. It's somebody that had stepped up. It's somebody that has stepped up to the plate. That means, to me, that's coaching. That means there's somebody that's believing in that guy, too, that's being coached up. We got guys that's being coached up. Yeah, it's a guy like him, like Julius Wood. Like, we're starting to see the floor guys make plays, step up. That's big. I know we can be top heavy and everything at the top, but when we coming out of a camp and we naming guys that's trying to make the roster and they putting in plays, like, come on, man. Come on, man. We ain't never had that either. We damn near, this was last year, Barron probably would have been, you know what I mean? He would have been a starter. Julius Wood would have been a starter. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, nation. Come on, man. My best, I had to come in here and just, you know what I mean? Because these last couple of calls, man, I get it, but come on, man. Come on, man. Cowboys showing us something, man. I believe in what I see, man. We'll be here right now, man. Because last year against this Rams practice, I was pissed off. I was pissed off last year. I was like, oh man, you know what I mean? So shout out to the coaches, man. Like, for real, shout out to the players answering the bell. But end of the day, man, to go up there with a mission and it seemed like we executed it. And then, you know, to end the practice and the run the win sprints. Come on, man, that's a different type of attitude, man. Different type of attitude, different type of vibe.
It's a different vibe today down there, and in general, I think in that locker room, bro. So you ain't wrong,
man. These guys was in the Super Bowl last year, man. Come on, man. Stop playing with us. But Scott, I appreciate the call, man. I know we got stuff to do, man. I just wanted to call it just to be able to, you know what I mean, bring it back to what it was today, man. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you calling in, man. That'll do it for the call. Woo! Good day to kind of go through these callers, man. And y'all and look, the chat also doing the damn thing too. Good conversations happening. I tell you one thing Marty's gonna do. He gonna drive conversation. I don't know what y'all in there arguing about, but Marty's gonna drive the conversation up in there. Let's Let's get through some of these. The one Anderson, 5 interceptions, 4 sacks against the number 1 offense Rams today, but we need to trade GP for Max. How effing delusional are y'all? Is somebody in here saying we need to trade GP for Max? We don't need to do that, y'all. We don't. I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt to the chat, because if you've been sitting here this whole time, that's not something that we've talked about. Trading GP for Max. No, that's not what we're saying here. You trade for GP, sure. Or not GP Max, but without giving up GP, man. We don't need to do that. 864 said, y'all just overhype these draft picks every damn year. I mean, that's fair. We do. And I'm part of that a little bit. Jay Watt says, I would have kept grooming a Johnny Cornelius at right tackle anyways. He has not been good. Back to the right tackle thing. Excuse me. If there was a replacement on the roster, I guarantee you that would be the competition. There isn't. See, I think a lot of fans believe that shoddy shit about, there's a competition at left. If y'all were here, y'all know how I feel. I don't believe that. I never believed that. Because Nate Thomas wasn't good at tackle. He's not a tackle to me. Drew Shelton, give me a break. You know what I'm saying? The fact that he's calling those guys out to be competition is more of saying publicly, we're pushing Tyler Guyton to be better. That's all that was. I don't think it was a legitimate competition. And I don't think it's any competition at right tackle. These dudes are worse. So I think you got to go out and get a right tackle if you want to upgrade this year. But I also believe we're good. We're fine. If Terrence Steele is my Doug Free, we're fine. High-end run blocking right tackle that is not a great pass blocker, but your offense can still be extremely dangerous. Like, I feel like there was other things that I'd like to acquire is what I'm getting at here. Oh, brother, you want to throw shy-ass Pete out? See, this is what I'm saying, man. All right. Shouts out to Jacqueline Brooks, who just dropped 5. Come on.
Super chat.
Said, would you trade 2 ones for Christian Gonzalez and extend him since they don't want to pay 2 receivers top 5 money, guaranteeing Pickens walks after the season? Like Christian Gonzalez, boy. Hey. Is there a way I don't need to trade 2 ones? Because look, if I'm getting a Gonzo, right, Christian Gonzalez, I'm probably trading Deron Bland. Now, do they want the Deron Bland contract? I don't know. Boy, I'd love to have me some Christian Gonzalez, though. That's a good question. Again, I'm not so much worried about guaranteeing Pickens walks. They can tag Pick. They don't have a lot of guys they got to pay next year outside of George Pickens, like big money. So if they want, they can finesse the cat, tag him, and he's back on the team for another year. Now, will he like that? Probably not. And if you tag him, I don't think he's in the top 5. We talked about this before. 2 tags is actually less than the market value of who George Pickens is. King West don't believe he worth 2 ones. That seems to be the going rate for elite corners. I think he's elite for sure. But the going rate is 2-1. He's a fan. He's a beast, brother. I mean, 2-1s is usually quarterback edge money or compensation. But we saw Jalen Ramsey go for 2-1s. We saw Sauce Gardner go for 2-1s. I'd say you can have a pick and you can have Deron Bland. You know, I'm trying to keep him. But damn, I love to have him. So what's wrong with the one Anderson dude, brother? What's going on, man? You all right? They fighting you in the chat? SoCal says, Sky, am I crazy for thinking the front office just doesn't want to deal with David Mulligetta? Young Muller, baby. To even want to negotiate with GP after the market went crazy was kind of weird to me. Nah, here's what I do agree with Jerry. It ain't personal to Jerry, bro. Like he's probably dealt with way worse people than, I say worse, way worse negotiations than with David Mulugheta. And I don't even think the beef was with him. Yes, by proxy, did he, shut that down? Sure. But Jerry has negotiated crazier deals. And he also literally has a couple guys on the roster that are under him. Now, none of those dudes were going for the top bread. So, I think if it came down to it, it's not to do with David Mulugheta. I think he'd do a deal. I think it just happens to be they may not want to pay 2 receivers at this point. That's all. All right, I've been here for I don't know how many hours. Y'all have been amazing through this whole thing. I will be back on Thursday. I believe it's a practice Thursday. Probably going to be in shells. And as they're getting ready for the preseason game against the Seattle Seahawks on Saturday. We'll see how we feel about Saturday. I might go live for that. We'll see. We'll figure that out. But I'll definitely be back Thursday. Tomorrow, me and 2I will be rapping to you guys about whatever we saw and heard and read from today's practice. Can't wait to kick it with y'all. And then Friday, hopefully we get Joe Hoyt back on here. So really good stuff lined up for y'all per usual this week. Appreciate everybody coming through. Y'all really held it down today, man. For a stream where they didn't have the video footage, really good stuff, man. With that said,
push the goddamn button.
A lot of good conversation today, man. Look, we're not always going to agree in the chat, man. You ain't got to go crazy against each other, man. Goddamn. Look, as I'm talking, the do-rag will come out sometime, but it is what it is, man. All love. Vach Live, make sure I head on over there and support my guy Vach, man. As this music's playing out, I'm going to spam the chat with the link in a little bit, but appreciate y'all. We out here. Peace.
Squad!